that something hasn't happened are always interesting to me because, as we know, there are known knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there's some things we do not know. But there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. What number are we on? What are we on? What are we on? Let me do a sound check. What number are we on? What are we on? What are we on? Yes, yes, yes. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. 104, episode 104. And yeah, a little bit late kicking off today, a few minutes late, but it's okay. Got action-packed. What do you call this? What do you call this? Show. Action-packed podcast. Action-packed live show for you today. And for anyone who has not tuned in before, this is where we come. This is where we come to chop matters up. Chop-ish up. On all matters boxing and beyond. If anything interesting comes up in the UFC and something interesting came up over the weekend, then, you know, you can rest assured I'll be touching on that. Okay. I got the PPVs all lined up. thanks to the folk of Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. If you have not subscribed already, but you enjoy the content, then please kindly do so. Okay, so where do I begin? Well, since we got 7 people up in here, nobody ain't said nothing yet, so I'll start you off, shall I? You know what I mean? I'll do the icebreaker. Hello and welcome. You check out the show, but you don't leave any comments. You just like to watch. That's all cool and the gang. It's all cool in the gang. Don't be afraid to smash that like button. And don't be afraid to say hello. State your name and where you came from if you've never been here before. That would be most welcome. But you know what? Before I get too deep into the show, we're going to start off in the way we like to start off sometimes. Allow the area to further populate, although it's already populating nicely. I'm going to throw in a warming video. Where are we? Which one shall I go for? Damn. I don't want to touch Glovegate today. I've had it up to my back teeth with Glovegate. Although it had to push. If I must, I shall. I don't want to touch Glovegate today. I don't want to touch those gloves. If it fits, you must acquit. Okay, I think I know where I'm going to go. I think I'm going to start off with that classic fight that we saw over the weekend and the UFC. Okay, area populating nicely. Okay, we got David Douglas. Let me see. Am I ready for FaceTime? Damn, not looking too bad. Get a bit of underlighting on that now. That will be fine. We got David Douglas up in the building. Wilder is a buster. Damn. He's a buster. Damn. Adam Kownacki needs to lay off the pierogies. I don't know what's that. That's some Polish dish. What is that? Lots of potatoes. Let me guess. Lots of potatoes, like some kind of goulash. Potatoes. What is that? Is that the equivalent of shepherd's pie in the UK? Is that equivalent to shepherd's pie? I remember they used to make us eat shepherd's pie at school when I was a schoolboy. damn, it was horrible. Shepherd's pie was horrible to me. And ever since I was a schoolboy, I thought, no, I'll never eat shepherd's pie. I used to see it. I got a pretty varied palate, but shepherd's pie was a no-no. And all my adult life, I stayed away from shepherd's pie. And then one day, I was shopping, and they had this shepherd's pie. Couldn't really see it. It was in a tin foil kind of container. Tin foil kind of container. And you couldn't really see it, but it looked deep. And I thought, let me try that. Man, that was the first time I really tasted superb shepherd's pie. That's super. I realized the school shepherd's pie was just a poor imitation of real shepherd's pie. If you get real shepherd's pie and the meat seasoned, the meat underneath the potato is really well seasoned, man, it is a thing of beauty. Yes. Mickey Dub up in the building. Yes, excellent tie. Okay, who we got else? Matt B up in the building. I didn't need to stop blocking punches with his face. Big up, Rafi. Big up, Shiz Biz. Okay, we're warm. And just to get the thing properly warm, fully warmed, I'm gonna hit you up with the warm-in video. Just a little quick thing. To get the place, to get the temperature up nicely. Okay, so what we doing? What are we doing here? Try some spicy noodle. OMG. Okay, so as a matter of fact, let's do this thing properly. Let me do this thing properly. Let me just put my privacy screen up and let me write in something. You know, we're trying to go pro over here. So where we at? Yeah, let me create one of these things. Okay, so what's the first topic gonna be? Might well be. I think it's gonna be, what's his name? Kownacki. It's gonna be the Kownacki boy, the Kownacki lad. Where is he? Let's just copy and paste his name over here. Kownacki. Let me write that in. Paste. Add that. Show that. Okay, we're nice. So when people come in, they know what the first topic is likely to be. Okay, but in the meantime, let me share my screen so that I may share with you the warm-in video. And let's cut the music and get this thing large. Get the volume up and go. Yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Comeback Radio. And today we're taking a retrospective look at the strawweight UFC title fight, which that happened over this weekend. Joanna John Jacek versus Zhang Weilei. Game was UFC 248, and what a title fight it was. It's been talked of as one of the most exciting title fights ever, if not the most exciting female UFC title fight ever. And as you see, it was quite dramatic. We see Joanna John Jacek in her former state, and this is what she looked like after the fight. I think she's a two-time champion, multiple-time champion in the UFC. Highly accomplished, fought many a fine fighter, including Thug Rose. And this was her state. As you see, the forehead markedly different prior to the fight versus China's Zhang Weilei. Okay, so what can we say about this one? It was a strawweight title fight. that has already been dubbed or spoken of as one of the greatest women's fights in UFC history, and certainly the most dramatic and probably the best or most dramatic UFC title fight from either a man or a woman. Probably the best women's title fight ever. Ever. Okay, it was a back and forth brawl fight, call it what you will. And there is young Jacek at the end speaking to Joe Rogan. She actually tried to cover the forehead with a Polish flag there, but Joe Rogan trolled her and said, no, it looks fine. OMG. OMG. What a fight it was. It was incredible. Where are we? Okay, so the two ladies fought over 5-minute rounds back and forth. As I recall, it was one lady would win one round and the next win the other. Let me see if I can remember. Let me see if I can remember the sequence of events, who won which rounds. I think the first round went to, was it Weili? Was it China's Weili? And the second and third round, I think young Jacek came back fourth. Weili made a resurgence. And that's when she got that, the hematoma on the forehead, not very visible there. When the third and fourth the second and third Jan Jacek started to get the upper hand, and it looked like she would run away and take the title away from China's Weili. But Weili, Jan Jacek in the fourth. The forehead still manageable there. I think it was at the end of the third. Was it the end of the third when the swelling appeared on? Yeah, I think it was the end of the third when the swelling appeared on the forehead of Jan Jacek. And Weili, that spurred her on, because in the second and third, Weili started to get waylaid. But when she saw that swelling start to appear, there we are. I think that's probably the end of the third, beginning of the fourth round. When Weili saw that it looked like a pocket of hair, the hair pocket developed on the forehead of Jan Jacek. That gave Weili more inspiration, and she targeted it, and she started to pound on that the hair pocket whenever she could. And this was the end result. Also, I think was in the fourth round or the fifth round, where Weili twisted up the nose of Jan Jacek from Poland. China beat Poland. And that gave her Weili further inspiration still. We won't talk about that. That's one for another video. That was Adesanya. That was Nigeria origin, and landed in New Zealand. That's Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion. I think he took that championship from Robert Whittaker, fight or two ago. I think Robert Whittaker is a Kiwi as well. Is he a Kiwi live in Australia? Yeah, I think Robert Whittaker, the guy from whom Adesanya took the belt, is a Kiwi Australian. Kiwi now living in Australia. And this is, of course, I think the 42-year-old phenomenon, Yoel Romero of Cuba, currently living in, Coconut Creek, Florida. But anyway, that's a story for a different story. What we're looking at is the incredible fight between Jan Jacek versus Weili, China's Weili, Poland v. China. And by the start of the championship rounds, that's the fourth round, going fourth and fifth of the championship rounds, the 32-year-old Jan Jacek from Poland was barely recognizable. Though she had done plenty of damage to Weili too, and both fighters after the fight were taken to hospital. Bruising affair. So neither of them made the post-fight press conference. Jan Jacek was briefly interviewed in the octagon after her defeat and tried to cover her head with the Polish flag to disguise her injuries. She asked Joe Rogan, "You see my swellness? I felt this. She did great. She did great. There was something missing, but I felt all the punches, you know? I felt all the punches. Yes, the punch. She punched me in my head. From the third round, the swellness was bothering me, and I felt it. It was just getting more and more swollen, and my head was like going on and off. All good. Congrats to Jean. I'm very happy we gave you a good fight. Yes, indeed, they did. Because the main event, this was the co-main event, but the main event proved to be a dud. Like I mentioned before, Adesanya and Romero, they didn't deliver at all. They were more concerned with trying to time each other, trying to go for the perfect strike. But in the meantime, it's kind of, they weren't letting off. They didn't set it off. The crowd booed. I was patient. I thought this could go down at any minute. One man okay, so let's ease that down. Let's ease that down and let's stop that. Let's come back over. Let's come back over now. That's your teaser. That's your teaser. You want to see the rest of that? Go check it out. It's the latest video in my video selection. Dropped that earlier on today. Okay, so where we at? Okay, let's have a look at some of the comments. Matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's drop the link in the chat. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Uh-oh. Okay, I think we're good. Boom, boom, boom. And there you go. The link is in the chat. Okay, so where we at? Let's go through this. Okay. Let's do a quick roll call and then we get into it. Okay, so we got the David Douglas. We got the Joe 569, blah, 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 blah. Mickey Dub. Matt B. Shizbiz. Clive Cube. No fine dining at the PBC dinner table. They're eating rocks. It's been L after L. Dame. BBC been eating rocks. Okay, let's get this damn thing up. Let's get my posture right. Okay, let's bring it a bit towards me. Don't want to be leaning into the mic. It should be right there. Yeah, we're going to be talking about them. We'll be talking about the PBC heavyweights. It's a bad scene. Congratulations to Zhang Wei over in the UFC for a brilliant, valiant fight to maintain her strawweight belt against the highly talented ex-champ, I think two-time champ, Joanna Von Jacek. Okay, I don't know what the hype was about Kownacki. Anybody who goes life and death with Charles Martin. OMG. Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. Phil Walker says drop the link. The link has been dropped, my brother. The link has been dropped. Let me drop it again. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Who's that? That's me. Kownacki has no block. His style worked against low-ranked opponents. But when he started fighting the top 30 guys, he started to show weaknesses. Damn. Yeah, she's fast like Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, the Von Jacek. Very, where are we? I'm being so rude. Why am I being so rude? Von Cheche. Damn. 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 Looky there. Looky there. OMG. Okay. So where we at? Yeah, man, I'm good. Good as gold. Good as gold. I was running a little bit behind. I had a nap. When I woke up, I felt tired. We can never be satisfied. We can never be satisfied. When I don't have a nap, I say, I wish I had a nap. When I have a nap, I wake up tired. What the hell, bro? I'm good now, though. Just had to shake it off. Was a bit groggy. But just had to shake it off. I feel fresh. Nice and fresh now. I don't watch UFC, but I saw the pictures of the Polish girl afterwards. Looked insane. Looked absolutely insane. Okay, so where we at? Where we at? Did the Chinese girl get the beat down as bad? No. The Chinese girl was good. Well, she got marked up and scratched up and scraped up and what have you. But where am I? Hold on a second. Let me do something for you. Hold on. So okay, let me share this. So this, you'll see how the China girl looked. Yang Wei. Phil, I see you. I'll be with you in a second, my friend. Let me share this so you see how the China girl looked. Let me share this. Boom, boom, boom. So that's how the China girl looked. Should be coming up on your screen any second now. Any second now. And the replay will come up immediately. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm blocking it. I'm blocking her with this one. So if I take this one off, then you'll see what the hell's going on. What the hell's going on? Sharing. Okay, so this is how the China girl looked. It was a serious fight. It was a serious fight. They both got battered. But only the China girl here, Zhang Wei. She was the champion. The Polish girl here, the name is impossible to pronounce. Very difficult. Joanna. Jan Jacek. That's how they seem to pronounce it. Jan Jacek. She's here. She's been a multiple world champion, well established in the UFC. That's Jan Jacek from Poland. China girl, Zhang Wei. She's a new champion. I think she's she became champion only within 6 months. I think this is her first defense, or it could be her second defense, first or second defense. She came through. She maintained the belt. She remains the belt holder. But it was one hell of a fight. Don't worry, folks. I know a lot of you guys aren't into UFC, but I will guide you. I'll only show you the best UFC fights. I'll only point you to the best. I'll only do commentary on the best ones. And then, I'll probably drop a link or whatever. You'll know where to go to see the best UFC fights. Only the fights that are worth your while. So you are in the right place. So that's the boxing talk. I mean, that's the UFC. That's the UFC shiznix. Let me go through this, and now before I bring Phil Walker in, let me get through the bottom of this shizzle right here. Didn't watch the Polish girl beat down bad. Who won? The Polish girl, yeah, China girl. Little China girl. Okay. Wild Soul up in the building. Peace out to you. Peace to you. Pablo Diablo up in the building. Yes. What's going on here? Kownacki, Helenius, Charles Martin, and Gerald Washington are on the same level. Let me bring Phil in right now. Phil Walker, how do you do?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. It's a good Monday for me.
It's a good Monday, man. It's a good Monday. And one of the things we're talking about, Phil, One of the things we're talking about is the absolute battering that the PBC have taken in recent months. It's quite interesting. It's the heavyweight division can turn on a dime, Phil. Can turn on a dime.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, that's why everybody loves the heavyweight division, because it's just kind of one of those things where you never know. But me personally, I prefer it to be that way. I like the fact that you don't have just one guy that's going to dominate the division. I like it to be really, really competitive. Of course, you're going to always have your guys that's just a cut above, but that's what every combat sport, of course. But I like it. I like the fact that you can watch a fight and you don't know who's going to win. I know a lot of people favored Kownacki to win, but I mean, Robert Helenius is a hell of a fighter, and he proved that just this Saturday. And that's great for him, man. I'm happy for him.
Yes. Damn. My device here wants to roll off the table. That's not good. Okay, so the heavyweight division. Right. On the same level, they can beat each other, probably throw Deontay Wilder in that circle. Damn, that's harsh. I don't know about that. I would like to think Deontay is a little cut above. Well, I'm pretty sure he is. Smash that like button, folks. Where are we? Philip Carl Roberts. You can probably put Ariola on that list as well. Kownacki gassed out against him and struggled. I was talking about the Chinese chicken with the fast hands. Yeah. I think I addressed that, David. She was the champion, strawweight champion, and she remains the champion over 5-minute rounds. And it's interesting because in the UFC, the girls do the same amount of time and the same amount of rounds as the guys does, whereas in boxing, Phil Walker, they reduce a 3-minute round to a 2-minute round for the ladies. In the UFC, it's 5 minutes. Each round is lasts 5 minutes just for the women, just as it does for the guys.
Yeah, I hadn't got a chance to actually view that match that you're talking about, but
yeah,
I did go back and look at the highlights, and everybody's been talking about it. So I'm going to carve out some time to go and check that fight out. I did watch a video you made on it earlier today.
Yeah.
You went into pretty good detail talking about it. So you definitely, man, I want to go check it out, and I'll see how that turned out.
Yeah,
I mean, I like combat sports. It doesn't matter if it's UFC, boxing. A lot of the same philosophy applies. So, I'm down with the philosophy of combat sports as well as just the actual sport.
100. But the interesting thing is that the UFC girls, they fight for 5 minutes, the same as the guys. Whereas in boxing, the girls fight for 2 minutes as opposed to 3. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. But, I'll be honest with you. I think I know the girls, as far as women's boxing, boxing. I know they've been saying that they want to bring the time limit up to 3 minutes as well, just like the guys. They don't think they get a treated differently or whatnot. I don't know the science behind them making the rounds actually 2 minutes. I think if I was more educated on that, I could give a better answer. But honestly, I think
you're cool with the 2 minutes. You're cool with the 2 minutes. I sense that you're cool with the 2 minutes for the ladies.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of one of those things where you're so used to something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the point, if they change it, it's just kind of like, okay, well, they bring it to 3 minutes. That's fine. But they keep it at 2 minutes. I mean, it's at 2 minutes. I've been watching it like this for 15 years. So whatever y'all do, I'm fine with it.
I suggest they take it up to 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the stamina goes, I think 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. I think it'll be interesting. You'll see. Training will have to essentially not necessarily change, but they're going to have to do a little bit something because an extended minute, 30 seconds or whatever, 45 seconds, whatever they decide to take it up to, if they decide to do that. makes all the difference in the match. So interesting.
Well, yeah, rather than go to 3 minutes, people are talking about taking it to 3 minutes, but I say rather than go to 3 minutes, go to 2.5. Go to 2.5 and as a trial, see how it goes. Keep it there for a few years, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what kind of set guidelines these guys have, but I would imagine that a commission, you depend on where your fight is, they would probably bring it to a vote. And you know, so it could be one of those situations where, you know, in boxing they try to keep everything as far as like the guidelines, you know, straight across the board as far as the rules are concerned. But I'm pretty sure the commissions could get together and vote on that. You understand what I'm saying? And probably a majority decision. So yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because women are known for endurance anyway, more so than are they known for endurance? Because they carry extra fat, so that's that has implications with endurance. So yeah, I think endurance, a little 30-second extra endurance, I think they'll be able to manage it. But okay, so I think we've done the warming. I think we've introduced everybody. K8. I don't know who K8 is. Never seen K8 in here before. How do you do K8? Is this a new guy, K8, or is this an old guy with a new name? I don't know. K8, how you doing? Philip Carl Roberts up in the building. Last one in the building. I don't know why I can't get into UFC. Well, stick around here. I'll direct you to the most interesting fights when they come on. I wasn't really particularly expecting much of this, but I fell asleep. Missed the Kownacki fight, which we're going to talk about right away. No, what am I doing? I'm quoting this one with it showing another one. Yeah. Fell asleep for the Kownacki fight, missed the Kownacki fight, woke up, told that Kownacki got knocked out, laughed, knocked out by Helenius, who got knocked out by Washington, who got knocked out by Charles Martin. What the hell is going on? And of course, Kownacki fought Charles Martin to a very close fight. It was went to the points. Kownacki just won. And then he fights the guy who got knocked out by Helenius. And then Charles Martin fights the guy who knocked out Helenius, and he knocked that guy out. I think it was the second or third round, something crazy. So it's just PBC madness over there, up in the heavyweights. Yeah. I don't know why I can't get into UFC. I'll direct it to the good ones when they come on. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I fell asleep, woke up, I thought, what the hell? Went over to BT Sports on my TV. Boom. I thought, yeah, why not? Let's watch this. And it was John Von Jacek versus Zhang Weilei. So yeah, the king. What? Did I see that? He jumped on me. The king shall reign supreme once again, says Wild Soul. So that's why I dropped the link into the chat. Okay. What's this here? Last one. I used to watch it years ago, but I did not like the ground game, so I lost interest. Yeah. UFC doesn't even have half as many rounds, though. 12 rounds in a competitive fight with 3 minutes is a lot more energy required. But I think the women go to 10 rounds, don't they? So it's 2 minutes at 10 rounds. So pardon my crude math, that works out to 20 minutes for a 10-round boxing fight for the ladies. That's 20 minutes, a championship fight. So with the ladies in the UFC, they're going 5-minute rounds. So that's 25 minutes. That's 25 minutes in less rounds, in half the rounds. So more than double. Each round is double the time. So it works out the championship fight, potentially, if it goes the whole way, is 5 minutes longer with half the amount of rounds. Okay. So Kate is my name, Raphael. I'm blessed. Thanks for the shout out. Most definitely K8. Kate, I get you now. Good to have Good to have new blood up in the building. New people coming through all the time. They do 5-minute rounds. Yeah. And five minute rounds for championship fights. Normal fight is 3 minutes. 3 rounds at 5 minutes. But the championship fight is 5 rounds. Every round is 5 minutes, whether it's a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. Yes, indeed. Gucci Kid up in the building. I like them Cubans, Romero and Masvidal. Yeah, man, they bring that salsa style. Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, so he got through that. That's the UFC talk. I should have had a banner saying UFC talk. And now we go into the knockout. A knockout heard all around the internet. Okay, so let me do my due diligence. And hold on, I don't even have to do that. There's something else I can do. There is something else I can do. Where we at? Okay, let's share this. Let's move this along and share this. Okay, share the screen. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so Kownacki doesn't have a rematch clause. Helenius non-committal. That's not the best place to start. That is not the best place to start. Kownacki reacts to TKO defeat to Helenius. Okay, let's do that then. Okay, so. Right. So the Barclays Center, Brooklyn. In a WBA heavyweight eliminator, Robert Helenius of Finland pulls off a shocker when he knocked out the undefeated, highly ranked Adam Kownacki. Okay, so Kownacki came out aggressively, taking the fight to Helenius. They were trading hard shots in the second round, and Kownacki was taking some heavy blows, but came back firing to Helenius. Helenius starting to dig harder. Hard hooks to the body. Kownacki controlled the action in the third, just throwing a lot of punches and fighting through the counters of Helenius. In the fourth round, Helenius landed a hard combination. As I recall, what was that now? It was a jab. What was it, jab? Or was it a right followed by a left hook? Uppercut hook. Okay, so it was a straight shot. Followed by an uppercut hook, as I recall. Yeah. The hook was very slick, and it dropped Kownacki, but the referee deemed it to be a slip. I don't know how the hell you get punched on your jaw and fall over and it's a slip, but anyway, it was ruled a slip. A moment later, Kownacki staggered to his feet. He got up on his feet. How do you stagger to your feet after you slip? So he staggers to his feet.
Hey, he said it was a lot of water in the corner, man.
What did he say? What did he say?
A lot of water in the corner, man. That's why it looked like
water. Damn, looked like he was on an ice rink. So a moment later, after he staggers to his feet, he goes after. No. Helenius just took it to him. Helenius just started to hit him up with a barrage of shots. And I almost felt, I don't know, sometimes you look in the face of a fighter and you feel sorry for them, because it was just like you knew that Kownacki was gone. He was gone, mate. He was absolutely gone. He dropped Kownacki again, several big shots. This time it was countered. And Helenius dropped Kownacki again. This time that knockdown was counted. Kownacki got back up, staggers back up, that is, still on wobbly feet, and then he was battered with a barrage of punches until the referee waved it off, showed Kownacki some mercy. It was a turn up for the books. Like I said, I slept through it. I only found out when I woke up, people told me. And yeah, I was very, very surprised. Helenius, kind of an untidy fighter for me, but Kownacki made him look tidy. Kownacki made him look nice, neat, and tidy, and it's kind of very, very interesting, Phil, because Dillian Whyte has taken a lot of flack as a result of that fight. The fact that he didn't knock Helenius out. And now this puts a new interesting, this puts that argument has gone now, because Kownacki, Helenius, the guy that Dillian Whyte gets criticized for not stopping Helenius. And I think he even Helenius even tagged Dillian Whyte with a nice one, kind of made him, kind of got Dillian Whyte's respect. And I think it's interesting now that argument has been washed away, because Helenius is the man who knocked out the PBC guy. That argument normally comes from the PBC. Oh, Dillian Whyte didn't even knock out Helenius. Well, what can they say now? Helenius knocks out the PBC guy, Kownacki. Damn.
Yeah, just to comment on that. Look, I'll tell you this right here. Dillian did catch a lot of slack for not disposing of Helenius as we thought he should.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I will say this right here. I've never thought that Helenius was a bad fighter, though. I mean, Helenius is kind of one of those guys that he has a real stiff punch, man. He has power in his jab, and he has a hell of a straight right. So with that being said, any guy that has the ability to get your respect in the ring, you can never count him out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the reason why Kownacki lost was because his style was wrong for an opponent like Robert Helenius. Because Robert Helenius is known to be a pretty tough guy. I mean, he's taken some L's, and he's been stopped before, but doesn't mean that he's not a tough guy. You understand what I'm saying? And we all know that Kownacki he's more of a accumulation puncher. He's not a one-hit knockout artist. So if you go into there with a guy that has some power behind him and you want to trade with him, things like this happen. You can't trade with a guy that's a more dominant puncher than you are. It's just not a good tactic. And I think Kownacki went into that fight with the wrong game plan. But what can I say? He goes into all his fights and he fights the same exact way. So he took the L, man. Helenius is not a bad fighter.
Yeah. I agree. Helenius is not a bad fighter. He used to get his props early in his career, and then things kind of leveled out. So now he doesn't get. So then he stopped getting the appreciation that he once did. But I tell you what, if you know how to punch, you know how to punch. And if he catches you, you will know about it. You will know about it. If he catches you, Phil Walker, you may just get KO'd. What is this? What does this want to do? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so Kownacki, I mean, Helenius, if he catches you, Phil Walker, you will know about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. If he gets a good shot on you, you definitely gonna feel it. So
yeah, 100%, 100%. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Let me see what's going on here. That was a very rough night. Yeah, that was a very rough night for Kownacki. Not funny to get KO'd in front of all of your family. Yeah, that's just one of the things about combat sports. They say you get home field advantage, but I don't know. Sometimes it's home field pressure. You're fighting in your own backyard. It should be all gravy, but that can come with its own pressures, Phil Walker. That can be a pressurized situation.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. I'll be honest with you. As somebody, man, I competed in sports and stuff like that for over half my life. And I can tell you something. I always enjoyed fighting or competing away, because it's just it's kind of one of those things that help you rise to the occasion. In fighting, and for me, in this fighting specifically, you got to be. I'm more comfortable being uncomfortable, because when I'm in a sense of like a really good comfort level, I tend to be complacent. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm more comfortable. I'm on edge. I'm more alert when I'm in, let's just say, a hostile territory in whatever sport I was competing in at that particular time. It's kind of like one of those things that you need to rise to the occasion, so you know that you have to be on your P's and Q's when you're basically away from your friends and your family and the home crowd that loves the hell out you. So, yeah, like you said, it could be a burden on you sometimes. So I agree.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Although Kownacki is used to fighting in front of his hometown people, maybe it seems to me that Kownacki just was a little bit, maybe Kownacki was just a little bit, I think he underestimated. Where are we? That's what I was looking for right there. I think he underestimated Helenius, because he thought he was supposed to beat Helenius. And as a result of thinking you're supposed to beat someone, then sometimes that can turn around and bite you on the ass, because you're too complacent. You don't have that edginess. You don't have the edginess. I always say it's better to fear your opponent and demolish him than to underestimate him and get demolished. Okay, so I think we've chopped that up nice and sweetly. Yeah, last one says, I was happy for the Viking. Can any of you name another Finnish boxer? That's a good one. What's the prize? Last one? What's the prize? If anybody names another Finnish fighter, last one is going to drop $2 into the super chat. That's fair enough, last one. Does that sound fair enough, Phil Walker? Phil Walker's busy. Okay, that's a deal, last one. That's a deal. Okay, so Kownacki believed the hype around him. He was like a brawler in there. Nothing technical. All Helenius did was timed him. Laugh my ass off. Helenius is an ex-heavyweight European champion. It's not like he has no ring IQ. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before. It's like, hey, I don't think Kownacki showed Helenius his due respect. Like I said before, I always say it's better to fear your opponent and demolish them than not fear them and get demolished. Okay, so move that out of the way. Adam Kownacki KO'd. Yeah, what more can we say? He got knocked out. Now it's a question of the road back, because as we know, Adam Kownacki was being lined up as an opponent for Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Where is he? No, that's not him.
Yeah. I tell you what, man. If I mean, I could imagine that guy fighting against Wilder. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, because of just a simple fact, man. Just his style, leaving himself open to be hit like that, brawling with guys and whatnot. I think that style plays right into Wilder's technical aspect, shall I say? You understand what I'm saying?
Plays into his hands.
Plays right into his hands. I'd rather him. And look, let me tell you something. And this is the key thing about boxing. A lot of people give people a lot of criticism for taking their time and picking the right opponents. But let me tell you something. If you do decide to take on fights that you could possibly lose, the best course of action is to always do it early in your career. Okay? Yeah. Because the truth of the matter is, now Kownacki, he's still a young guy. He still can go back to the drawing board and he can say, hey, what did I do wrong? And he can correct that. He still has a lot of time. It's better to lose early than late. unless you're just that guy, then it's okay if you lose late. But if you're not that guy, you're trying to build a good profile and a great reputation. It's always not a bad thing to take the hard fights early. You want to push yourself with each opponent that you have, and I think it was a little bit of complacency in there as far as him going to fight against Helenius. I don't think he took him as serious as he probably should have, but this is the fight game. And whenever you get in there, you got to take the same approach with every single opponent because it could be their night. So, hopefully he can go and dust himself off, come back stronger, correct a few things, and I'm sure we'll see him again.
Yeah. For sure going to see Kownacki again. He was being lined up for Deontay Wilder, and you made a very interesting point there, Phil. You said he was being lined up for Deontay Wilder, and I think we know why he was being lined up for Deontay Wilder, because his style was perfect for a Deontay Wilder highlight reel KO. Am I wrong, Phil Walker?
Well, I'll tell you this right here. It definitely would have been. I'm not going to say you're wrong in the sense that you're right, but I will add some things to that to that sentence.
Please
I think he would definitely been a highlight reel for Deontay Wilder. He does feed into Deontay Wilder's basically his fighting style, boxing style, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in a sense, you have to give the guys that put a lot of hard work, dedication, and that's good for the sport, because Kownacki is good for the sport. He is an entertaining fighter. He's a clean fighter. He works hard. He goes in and he competes at the best of his abilities during that particular time. So when you get guys like that, every now and then you need to if I'm fighting for whatever network or whatever promotional company I may be fighting for, I want to see that I am respected. I want to see that I mean something to the sport. So you have to give those guys shots at titles,
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know when you may have a case with somebody like a like a Andy Ruiz kind of guy. You understand what I'm saying? Who would have thought that we knew Andy Ruiz was a good fighter, but nobody really knew he was as good as he was until he defeated AJ, right? And I mean, even Eddie said, "Hey, look, we probably shouldn't have went with Ruiz," But I mean, at the end of the day, you want to give those guys shots. This is why the heavyweights are so important, because like you said at the beginning of the chat, this thing could change at the drop of a dime. And right now, all the belts across the pond. Just a few months ago, all the belts were on this side of the pond. So I mean, that's just the way the boxing game goes, So that's what I love about the sport, especially the heavyweights.
Yes. What is it? BH said he heard that Helenius's purse was only $30K. OMG. But that said, that was some kind of eliminator fight. That was a fight. Hold on, let me get to the. What does it say?
WBA, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the WBA eliminator. I think I've got something on it. Where is it?
Well, I'll tell you what, if he only got $30K for that fight, I mean, it might have worked out for him. Let's just say he would have turned away from the fight. He doesn't get the shot to become the mandatory for the WBA.
Yeah,
and I can guarantee you, if he, depending on whoever has the belt, I can best assure you, whether it's either Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, if those guys end up unifying, depending on what the Wilder fight is, I can best assure you he's going to get paid a lot more than $30,000 to fight that mandatory. So it was a gamble, and it paid off. So good for Helenius.
Yeah, it paid off. Barclays Center in a WBA heavyweight eliminator. Okay, so it was a WBA eliminator, and he won. So I don't know what's his next What's his next position now? What is he a number? What does he fight for next? What does he fight for next? Eliminator. So I don't know. WBA Eliminator. What does that mean in terms of where he is in the pecking order? Does he get another eliminator? Is this an eliminator for another eliminator?
I think it is, from my understanding, from what I read, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this. You know, I don't like spewing false information, but from my understanding, he has to fight another eliminator against Andy Ruiz. So, and then that'll be to determine who's the mandatory for whoever holds the WBA belt at that particular time.
Damn, Andy Ruiz. So, so this where are we now? March. What the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? I've got my first super chat. We've just initiated super chats over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. And where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Damn. That's all the time you put in, Raf. This was a long time coming. Damn. Got first. Shouldn't we have some kind of, I don't know, if there shouldn't be some dancing stuff on the screen or something? I gotta look into the settings, guys. You'd have to bear with me with the settings. But yeah, much appreciated. This is a great moment. I've just initiated super chats the other day, got the first super chat in there, and the last one comes through as the first. Much appreciation. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Okay, so much appreciated. What's going on here? What's going on here? The chat is on heat. That chat is on heat. Less pressure fighting away for sure. Kownacki, totally. What? Hold on, is this a joke? Don't tell me jokes. Is this a joke? Did Kownacki trash his changing room? Damn, I didn't think he was that type of personality type. Less pressure fighting away totally. Another cherry pick. Man, Kownacki was reckless. I'm not going to lie. Kownacki, Philip Carl Robert just said the same damn thing. He was reckless. Fuzzy up in the building. Yes, Fuzzy. I think Kownacki tried to run over. He tried to run over Helenius. How you going to try and do that? How are you going to try and run over Helenius? That's silly. I always say, Phil, fear your opponent. Fear your opponent. It'll bring the best out of you. You know, you'll go out there, knowing that you're in a fight. Don't think that your opponent is some kind of imbecile, some kind of idiot. Helenius didn't get to where he got to by being an idiot.
Yeah, man. A lot of guys make that careless mistake. And unfortunately, they don't realize they've made that mistake until it's too late, right? So I think when Kownacki goes back and he, goes over his training and he sees some things that he might have did wrong, because once you take a loss, you have to start the reflection process, okay? Or you're not going to be able to get better from it. So once he goes back and he starts the reflection process, he's going to say, man, probably on this day and this day, I didn't do, X, Y, and Z, or maybe I underestimated him as far as this was concerned. But in the course of training, a lot of times you're not realizing that you're not taking this guy as serious as you should. But I always tell people the same thing, like you just said, fear your opponent. But one thing that's always stuck with me that my trainer always told me, he said, respect the sport. Okay. When he described it to me, he said, you have to understand, no matter how bad you think a fighter is, you got to understand he's not coming in there to lose. Okay. He's coming in there to win. And he said, a lot of these guys, they feed their family with this right here. And a lot of times, this is the only thing that they have. So you have to respect the sport. And, you know, I've always taken that with me. So whenever I get into the ring, whether it's just, you know, in a match scenario, or if I'm going out and we're doing some sparring with a gym across town, I get in there and I take it serious, because again, those guys are not in there to play pity pat with you. So respect the sport, man. And like you said, fear your opponent. That'll bring the best out you each and every time.
100%. And in comes joining us now. We got the Gucci Kid, Chase Athletics. Philip Carl Roberts has already been in here. DJ, Georgie Porgy, Fuzzy is here. Mr. SR20, BH. Okay, and Eva Wallstrom was the answer that many people came up with. Eva Wallstrom, I'm assuming a Finnish fighter. It doesn't make sense why Kownacki turned down the. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Kate. So we gotta chop this up for a few seconds before we move on. So yeah, looking back now, how does Adam Kownacki feel? How does Adam Kownacki feel for turning down the Joshua fight? Must have been at least 5 M's in that. Must have been at least 5 M's in that. Said that, you know, it wasn't your time, one wasn't right, this, that, the other. Sometimes, I put it to you, Phil Walker, sometimes you just got to jump on opportunity. You can't look opportunity and say, I'm not, I don't think, no, get back to me next year on the offer. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. I remember I watched that film back in the day. What was it called? When with Robert Redford and Demi Moore and what's that guy's name? The guy used to be in Cheers. It was about a millionaire guy. Wanted to spend some time, some quality time with this guy's, I think Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson wanted to spend some quality time and met the millionaire. It was Robert Redford wanted to spend some time, quality time with the Woody Harrelson's wife. Made him a big offer. And they was putting down some money on a house or buying a house. I remember at the time. And yeah, they were about to lose out on the house, and the estate agent told him, if you snooze, you lose. If you snooze, you lose. And in life, I put it to you, Philip Carl Roberts, that sometimes opportunity doesn't come at the perfect time, but you got to adjust and adapt. It's like soccer. You get the ball at the not the perfect time, but you have to adjust your feet. You have to adjust your feet and make when it bounces, you're ready for it. You have to make adjustments and get ready to take opportunity. And look there now. Kate makes a great point. He's lost out on those at least 5 M's. At least 5 M's. Good decision or bad decision? Phil Walker.
So look, let me tell you something. Kate brings up an outstanding point. I appreciate that. I mean, because that question that she raised, because, you know, a lot of this stuff goes underneath the radar. So I will say this right here. And this is why, you know, you have to respect the fighters that approach the sport as a lifestyle, not just something that they're just doing. A lot of times guys miss out on opportunities because they're not training constantly. You know, they want to set up a fight, and then they want to do their training camp, and then they want to go back to living however there is that they're living. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a lot of these young guys are doing this, young, talented guys in boxing right now that are doing that. First and foremost, I don't think that's heavier. It's a lot easier just to live a very healthy lifestyle and do your sport while you can, and you know, get the most out of it. I think Kownacki, as well as guys like, you know, one of my favorite heavyweights, Luis Ortiz. I think those guys don't approach the sport as in the same manner that I would if I was a professional at it. So with that being said, I can't see any reason for him to not take the fight other than him just not being physically prepared to take the fight. Okay. So at this point, I'm pretty sure he's probably went back, talked to his advisors at PBC, Al Heyman and the guys, and they said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Such as, give him a sense of comfort in not taking the fight. But like you said, sometimes you just got to take those opportunities and you just got to roll with them and say, you know what, buddy, whatever happens, happens. And I think Kownacki would have had 6 weeks to get prepared. So that's just 2 weeks less than, a lot of training camps. So with that being said, I think it was a bad decision, man. Bad decision. Very bad decision. And another thing is, again, if he would have fought Dillian, he would have been able to go to the other side of the pond. He would have been able to build his profile. And I'm sure it would have been several people that would have probably came down and supported him. Again, man, that was a bad decision. But, we'll see. We shall see.
We shall see indeed. It's a very bad decision. And BH, much appreciation for the donation. Much appreciation indeed. As you know, donations go towards upgrades in equipment. And although primarily it goes to putting money in the kitty for the PPV so we can get the PPVs, get the live shows associated with the PPVs, and did an impromptu PPV the other night to cover the Yal Romero. But of course, there was plenty of boxing chat in there, and also plenty of chat about Jan Jacek, Alien Head. Where is she? There is she. Alien Head right there. Although I must say, the reason I'm not particularly fond of her is because she's always so very, very cocky. But I'll tell you one thing. She was humble in defeat. I'll give her that much. Humble in defeat. But yeah, Alien Head. I liked her humility. She was calm. She kept it cool. Yeah. I'll give her props. I'll give her respect. I'll give her respect for the way she handled her loss. Which is she's very high achiever, but she handled her loss in a very dignified manner. So I do give her props.
Now that you mentioned that, I'll tell you something, and that's super important in sports, to handle your losses with grace. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's a very underrated thing, that people really don't talk about much. You don't want to be classified as a sore loser. So that's good because, in order to do combat sports, man, you have to have a sense of confidence and in your ability, and not necessarily say arrogance, but I think all fighters have a sense of arrogance because they believe in themselves. But with that, you have to be gracious if you take an L. Does not make you less of a competitor or anything like that. You just have to say, hey, the better person won tonight, and I'm going to shake this off and we'll be back stronger. So that's a very underrated thing that really a lot of people don't talk about, man. So, but that's good that she was gracious in her defeat, and she from my understanding, I didn't see it, but she fought her tail off. So that's awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. That's one of the fights. That's one of the fights. That's probably one of the best fights in the history of the UFC, men or women. I gotta be honest with you. That was a hell of a fight. Like I told you before, I woke up, I forgot all about the fight. Sometimes when you wake up, you forget about everything. It just wipes the slate clean. That's probably one of the good things about going to sleep. Hopefully it just wipes the slate clean, and it wiped my slate so clean that I forgot about the boxing. I fell asleep on the sofa. It was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I just turned the TV on instinctively, went to the sports channel, and I saw, oh yeah, my mind started coming back to me. Oh yeah, there's some fights on tonight. Boom. It was about to start the women's fight, Van Jacek versus Wei Jiang Wei. And I just turned the TV on, put the setup on, just adjusted my setup, press the red button, check my mic check 1 2 1 2. Boom, let's go live. And damn, it's a good thing I did, because oh no, I'm lying because I watched that fight when I should have pressed the red button to go live, not expecting much, just expecting an okay fight. And it turned out to be an absolute classic, and that put me in the mood to go live. So I went live, and then Romero versus Adesanya, that was the main card. and they produced absolutely nothing. That was a stale fight. Well, you know, I still enjoyed it though, because anything could have happened. They're both so explosive. Anything could have happened at any time. So much appreciation goes out to Faz, just hitting me up with that little donation. But that's all it takes. That's a little donation. Ping, ping, ping makes the jar ring. And that really is the pay-per-view. Those go to pay-per-view. If I do need more equipment, or an upgrade on equipment, then I intend to be going to live shows and recording live shows, not recording the show itself, but maybe trying to catch some interviews. That endeavor is about to embark in a couple of months. So, you know, yeah. So there's more to come. We've only just begun. We're just 1 year in. There's more to come. And yeah, I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about the growth of the channel. I'm excited about the fact that yeah, it's like we have people now who I know want to jump in, want to listen. I just know that now. I know when I go live, there's going to be people who jump in because they want to listen, they want to hear, they want to participate. Indecent Proposal was the name of the film. Want to listen, want to participate in some way, and that's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Indecent Proposal, that was the name of the film. Yeah, and the reason I brought that up is because of the term. If you snooze, you lose. Opportunity doesn't knock at the perfect opportunities most times. It doesn't knock at the perfect opportunity most times, but when opportunity comes, you got to readjust. You got to change your feet, change your footing, change your stance, and take it. Take it.
You know, another thing that, you know, I wanna bring up is something that's good news in boxing, that Mauricio Suleiman said that he put out a tweet that
Phil, say no more.
a lot of clean boxers, man. So that's awesome.
Say no more, because you know the Rafi's on it. You know the Rafi's on this shiznix. You know the Rafi keeps his ear to the ground and likes to deliver to you. But before we go to that, matter of fact, because a lot of people have commented on the previous topic, so let me run through. Okay, let me run through. Yeah, bad decision to turn it down. Must be blowing up Al Heyman's phone. This is why Kownacki stormed out the ring with no interview. He saw the he saw the dollars disappear right in front of his very eyes. Famouche. You know this WBA thing though, this WBA eliminator. The WBA, they have a bunch of different belts though, don't they? They have the silver, they have the regular, they have the irregular. You know what I mean? So this might be something. So you can be. Isn't Manuel Charles a WBA guy? Yeah, and he's been holding on to some kind of belt for how long? For years. Don't think he's. I think
he has a silver belt.
Silver belt. And then Don King's got a guy. Don King's got a guy who's got a belt as well. Trevor Bryant. He's a WBA champion as well.
I don't know what belt he has though.
But he's a WBA heavyweight champion as well. They got a bunch of belts. People are talking as if this is going to take Helenius straight up to Joshua, whoever's holding the belt. But I don't know about that, because first you got Manuel Cha, although he's changed his name now to Mahmoud. He's changed his name to his original name, Mahmoud something. And then you got Trevor Bryan. He's a WBA champion as well. So I'm saying pump the brakes, folks. Multi apples in the building. Chris Ross in the building. Yeah, so they got a bunch of champions. Them boys, the WBA got a bunch of champions. So I don't think there's no I don't think this is some kind of direct route to Joshua. I think it's an indirect route. I think he's just another WBA champion. They got a bunch of them. Maybe he fights one of the other champions. Maybe Helenius fights Manuel Charo or Trevor Bryan. Maybe. What's this here? So Uncle Al, yes, we're going to shortly move on to the next topic. Phil Walker has given you the teaser. Probably put a spanner in the works and stopped him taking the AJ fight, same as Luis Ortiz. Yeah, I think that's highly likely. I think that's likely that Al Heyman kind of put a stop to that because he wanted to keep these guys. Wanted to keep these guys for Deontay Wilder. Well, now Adam Kownacki found out that it ain't wise. It ain't wise. What's the expression? What's the expression? The expression is wild pigs drink at the first water hole. You don't wait. You don't go. Oh, you don't pick and oh no. I think I'll wait till the next. No. Wild pigs drink at the first water hole. When you get your chance, boom, you're in there. You take it. You take your chances as they occur. Yes, you showed good sportsmanship at the end of that. Okay, and now I'm going to. It was a huge L. Yes. Planning things for the future. Anyway, best not to talk about the things you're planning. Just do them. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Cha is the WBA regular champ. Joshua is the super champ. Then I think they got a silver champ. They got a bunch of WBA champs. WBA is watered down. Well, they got too many champs, man. They got too many champs and they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. After that sight we saw on the weekend, Andy Ruiz will blow Kownacki. Blow him away. Yeah, blow him away. I think he'll blow him away with bombs in his... Yes, wild soul. Okay, and as Phil Walker alluded to earlier, what's this here? Why is that there? What is that there? Okay, let's see. What is that? What is that? Okay, I see that. Okay. Let me move this over here. Let me share. Let me share with you. Okay, so it should come up on your screen any second. Any second now. Okay, so Mauricio Suleiman, WBC El Presidente, El Capitan. I'll try and do it in his voice. Making my monthly report to the board and happy to see all these negative results reported by VADA testing from the clean boxing program. Some of them are the Bronze Bomber, Tyson Gypsy King Fury, Breedis Maridis, Ramiro Zudo. Yeah, but the two we're looking at is the Bronze Bomber, Wilder, and Tyson Fury. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, I bring this up because, is this clear on your screen? Hopefully it is. Hopefully it's clear on your screen. Hopefully it's clear on your screen. I just heard a pop. I'll be with you in a second, whoever that is. Yeah. So there's been much talk, speculation that, let me stop sharing. There's been much talk and speculation that, okay, Phil dropped off, back on. There's been much talk and speculation that, first of all, I heard a rumor that Deontay Wilder had failed his drug test. Then I heard a rumor that it was unsubstantiated. Said he couldn't pee, so he failed. Then the second rumor was that the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, failed the drug test. Oh yeah, absolutely. BHA, smash that like button if you so desire. Okay, yeah. And then the rumor that Tyson Fury failed, which was also unsubstantiated, but now in black and white from the Twitter. I'm going to look back at the Twitter because there's been some fake tweets going around. So you can't just take You can't just take it for granted when you see a tweet that it's original, that it's coming from the proposed source. So just to make sure I don't get punked like many have already, let me share my screen and go back to that. Let me share my screen and go back to that. Let's examine that tweet and the source of the tweet. Boom. There's the tweet. Mauricio Suleiman. Yeah. Mauricio Suleiman, WBC El Presidente. Yeah, that's it. That's his tweet. He's got the blue tick. You see the blue tick? It's legit. Okay. So, clean tests. Going back from the Bronze Bomber and Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. Okay, that's legit. That's a legit tweet. So, Phil Walker, there's been a lot of rumors flying around about people failing tests, people failing this, people failing that, but it's come. We got it from the source now. We got it from the source that that was not the case. That's not the case.
Man. You know, look, let me tell you something. All this stuff about these, you know, people failing these tests and all this other kind of, I don't see the purpose in people making up this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of people out there that don't want to see people do well, want to start controversy, you know, and to me, it's just crazy. The whole thing with Tyson Fury failing a drug test, the whole thing with Deontay Wilder failing a drug test, you know, all that stuff is for what? You understand what I'm saying? But I'm glad Mauricio Suleiman put out the tweet, let everybody know, hey, look, I'm astounded that we have clean boxing program and all of these fighters have come back clean. So it put all the rumors to rest, man. So and that's awesome, man, because we want boxing to be a clean sport. Because for so long it was overshadowed by a lot of people doing a lot of crazy things, and more than just taking performance enhancement drugs. So if it's heading in the right direction, as a fan, as someone who's been watching boxing for a long time, you know, let's just be happy about that. Let's not start unnecessary rumors, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But fortunately, those rumors have been squashed by El Presidente, Mauricio Suleiman. Okay, that's good. So let me get back into the chat. If I can escape this thing. Oh, damn. Boom. Boom. Once upon a time, I'd have been trapped up in there. But we're good now. So what's the comments? What's the comments on this thing here? I'm still sharing, yeah? What's the comments? Fury confirmed clean. Yeah. Rocky Ali follows me. So let's just give him a little bit of support there. I smashed that like button and let me leave him a comment, as I always endorse. Yes, yes, boom, yes. Okay, what else are people saying? Any word on Dillian White B sample?
Hey, look, man, let me tell you something.
Carry on, Phil.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Look,
Yeah.
This is the realness about Dillian White's situation, the way I perceive it, right? Dillian White got cleared by the WBC and VADA, because guess what? He passed his VADA test.
Yes, he did.
Now, if he passes the VADA test, he don't have any quarrel or beef with VADA. He passed the test. Everything's all good on there. Now, as far as this other situation, hey, look, man, I don't know what happened to the B sample, but let me tell you this right here. Whoever was in charge of that investigation, they have also cleared Dillian White. So you know what I say? If they're good with it, the guys that he's fighting is good with it, then guess what? I have no other choice but to be okay with it. If the fighters can move on from it, the promoters can move on from it. I mean, as spectators, people who like Dillian White, people who enjoy watching Dillian White fight, I suggest or don't like watching Dillian White fight. You want to see him fail. Hey, but guess what? At the end of the day, just move on from it, man. The B sample is never coming, okay? If he's been cleared of all wrongdoing, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Just get over it. Let's talk about something else.
People are hanging on to Shizzle. People are holding on to Shizzle. You know, the UCAD came out and said, yo, there's something you need to check out. We need to do further checks on this Shizzle. And they did the further checks and found that, yeah, what they had in their tube was not consistent with their previous test, their subsequent tests. And, yeah, they judged that the thing was contaminated, not by White. Not by White. So here, this goes, so cleared him, clear. So no truth to the rumor that Wilder fanboys, that Fury peed hot. Well, clearly not. It's come back clear. Bronze Bomber refused the post-fight test like Canelo, says another guy. Well, clearly, if it refused the post-fight test, you see, if it refused the post-fight test, the refusal is what? Is a failure.
Yeah, refusal is absolutely 110% a failure. A no sample is just as bad as a sample that pops dirty. So
yeah.
But you got some guys that if they know they're dirty, they'll rather not take the actual test to say, well, hey, I never actually urinated dirty. You know what I mean? I just didn't take the test.
Yeah.
So you still can kind of hold on to some sense of innocence, but I mean, you know, what's really going on?
Yeah. What's going on here? Because another guy asked a good question. Chan says, what about Alexandra Jimenez? I covered that story. She came back with a positive result for PEDs. She doesn't deserve the WBC title and needs to be stripped. I'll look into that into another show. I didn't realize she hadn't been stripped yet.
No, she has absolutely been stripped. She has been stripped.
She has been stripped.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, good, because that was the last thing that I reported on. I reported that she was going to be stripped. Some more replies. Has she been stripped or has she not been stripped? Let me go. Let me check this out because they're saying she has been stripped. My understanding was she's been stripped.
She's been stripped, man. From my understanding.
That was my understanding. Let's go and clarify this. Let's do it. We're doing this live, folks. Jimenez suspended, loses 168 title pending what? Damn it. More options. Reject all. Save and exit. I don't even know what I'm rejecting, but I just reject them. Okay, so the World Boxing, WBC has released a statement regarding the current status of Alejandra Jimenez as their female super middleweight champion. Jimenez was flagged during the WBC clean boxing program for an adverse finding amidst a victory after a victory against Franchon Cruz Duzern. Since the controversy erupted, Duzern and her promoters Golden Boy have revealed their intentions to be handed the green and gold belt back. WBC is set to investigate further before making a final decision. They said the A sample collected by VADA from Miss Alexandra Jimenez on January 10th, 2020. What? They said an A sample collected. Okay, it's poorly written. It happened the day before the bout. Get to the point. The WBC notifies Ms. Jimenez of the adverse finding and of the opportunity to witness the opening of the B sample or send a representative to do so. So Jimenez has requested, and VADA has agreed to provide to her the full documentation pack corresponding to the A sample. They will schedule the opening of the B sample containing the B sample on February the 19th.
Yeah.
In light of the adverse finding, the WBC is provisionally suspending the WBC recognition of Alexandra Jimenez as its WBC super middleweight champion until the WBC investigation and adjudicatory process are finalized. The WBC has notified Ms. Jimenez and her team of the WBC's provisional suspension, also that it is affording Ms. Jimenez the opportunity to, So she's been suspended then. You see, people, damn. Is it too hard just to do the research before making comments on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says that the WBC belt is actually in a vacant state currently.
Okay, it's vacant. Carry on.
People for the super middle, the WBC belt is currently in a vacant state. And Alejandro, she is still the WBO champion currently.
Okay, still with the WBO. Okay, with the WBC appear to be doing the right thing, so I can't see any problem with that. Okay, so that's taken care of. That myth has been dispelled. So she has been. Let me just leave a response to this. She no longer holds a WBC belt. It's very simple. The WBC belt. Boom. No longer. No. The O ain't working on my keyboard. I gotta smash it extra hard. No. Longer. Okay, there we go. That's from Raphael, courtesy of Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Okay, so where are we in the chat? Let's go into the chat before we move on to the next topic. What's going on in here? What's going on? Let me do that. Boom, boom, and boom. He was pouring the water down his throat like he was watering the lawn. Wilder has no chin. Well, that's yet to be determined. But Wilder has no chin. Phil Walker, Wilder has no chin. He got knocked out by pillow fists. That's the word. That's what they're saying. That's the word on the street. That's the word on the street. Until his chin is guilty of faltering, we just gonna say that his chin's okay for now, because of course Tyson Fury really did lay some nice blows on him, and his towel, the towel got thrown in, so he finished on his feet, technically speaking. So we'll just hold it at that. We hold it at that. But it's a good question though. I mean, all joking aside, he got TKO'd by a guy who many call Mr. Pillow Fist, Mr. Pillow Hands.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Look, and I spoke earlier to some guys, and I said, hey, look, Tyson Fury is 273 pounds, and I think if any guy lays into you hard enough, even with pillows over his fist, it might put you down. It might put you down.
OMG. Mr. Pillow Fist knocking out guys now. It's not like he hasn't done it before, though.
I tell you what, Ralphie, man, and growing up as a kid, man, I done been into some pillow fights with my buddies, and guys that came out of there with some bloody noses. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, those pillows can come heavy. Those pillows, if you swing those pillows right, they can come heavy, man. They can get a concussion.
Yeah, that ain't no lie, brother.
Wilder can verify that. Wilder can testify to that.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. you know. So
yeah, we're just breezing through these comments. There's a lot of them. Wilder sipping on some juice, according to Wild Soul. I mean, White sipping on that juice, according to Wild Soul. It's that young Pharaoh and Blue Blood. Honestly, you can tell these clowns are not intact in the head. They're clout chasing. Blue Blood's been coming up with every fake tweet. Every fake tweet that's derogatory towards Fury, Blue Blood seems to be posting up. What's that all about? Every fake tweet that is anti-Fury. Wild Soul says that Wilder is clean and White is juiced. Damn. I don't know if there's any, I don't know if you got any paperwork to back that up, Wild Soul. I need to see your paperwork on that, bro. Need to see your paperwork.
Well, I can tell you this right here for sure. Wilder has never failed a drug test. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that makes him a clean boxer. But Fury has failed drug tests before. Okay. I don't know if Dillian White's ever failed a drug test. I think he failed one early in his career, if I'm not mistaken. But since then, he's been clean.
Who's that? Fury?
No, Fury failed a drug test.
Yeah.
After the Vlad fight, he failed a drug test. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's clearly not a clean fighter.
And before.
And before, yeah.
Christian Hammer.
Yeah, he did fail the Christian Hammer. He did. And then Dillian White failed a drug test early in his career.
Yeah.
But he's been clean since.
Well, it was proved it was for over the counter pre-workout.
Okay. So, and the thing about this is a lot of times you may be just taking something that, look, this body testing and whoever you test with, like prime example, as far as testing down here in Texas, that we do, if you have too much caffeine in your body, you can pop dirty for a test, right? Yeah. So it just all depends, just depends on, exactly what they're looking for, because part of the testing is not just for getting a competitive edge. A lot of testing is to make sure that you're not doing anything that could be harmful or detrimental to your body as well. So it's a lot of different levels to this testing stuff. You got too much caffeine, you're trying to drop weight. Of course, it's a stimulant. You may do something that you may get permanent damage to your heart or something like that. So a lot of this testing is for good reasons. And, not necessarily you're taking performance enhancement drugs. So, this stuff goes real deep, man, with as far as the testing stuff goes.
Yeah.
But, look, this is my deal with the whole testing thing. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done with it. Mm-hmm. As far as testing goes, if you do get caught cheating, okay?
Yeah.
You get your suspension, you pay your fine, okay? You pay your fine. And if you get caught cheating for a second time, I think you probably need to be out of boxing, because the first time is just, okay, maybe you just made a bonehead mistake. The second time is now you're literally just having just disregard for the rules and regulations of boxing. Yeah. So, you gotta be out of the sport, because you're not respecting the sport and you're not respecting your opponents. So if you do your time, you pay your fine, they clear you, they allow you to box again, just make sure it doesn't happen again. It's a lot of guys that pop dirty and never pop dirty again. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. So
yes,
let's leave it at that.
Yes. So I think that what was that topic that we were just talking about? What was that topic we were just talking about? We were talking about
clean boxing program.
Yeah, Mauricio Suleiman, Jack 3D. Yeah, Dillian White failed the test for Jack 3D, which is an over-the-counter supplement pre-workout, and he got banned for 2 years. Damn.
Man, that's rough there.
Yeah, 2 years, 2 whole years. So for a pre-workout, and they accepted that it was the pre-workout. So that is some crazy shizzle. White took jacked pre-workout. Yeah. That's what it's for. Jack 3D pre-workout. It was very popular back in the day. It was an over-the-counter supplement thing before he got big. You know what I'm saying? You just take some cheap pre-workout, boom, 2-year ban. Okay, so that clears up. What have I still got Adam Kownacki up there for? The ban. Let's change that. Let's get that out of there. Off. Thank you. Okay, so where we're going next? I think I got it lined up here somewhere. Move that to the side. Okay. I know where we're going. What is that? Get that out of there. Okay, and we can share. This. Well, I took a pre-workout. Hughie Fury. Okay, I'm going to Hughie Fury next. Let me write this up. Where is it? Hughie Fury. I got too many damn pieces of apparatus in front of me. Hughie Fury wins via KO. Okay. So did you see that fight? Did you see that fight? Phil Walker, did you see the Hughie Fury fight?
Yeah, I did see some of the Hughie Fury fight. I did not see the whole fight. I was going in and out of it. But yeah, I did see some of it. I did not see the actual knockout though.
Yeah, Hughie Fury was fighting the Czech? Yeah, Czech Republic guy. Hughie Fury wins via KO. I think I'm gonna have to. If it wins via KO, edit. I think my batteries in my keyboard's running out. It's not getting on. KO. Edit. K. Damn. This thing is going crazy. Okay. Forget that for now. It's taking too much time. My battery's in the keyboard. I think they need changing. I ain't got time to do it now. So let's just press ahead with the story. Can't mess around. Okay, so Hughie Fury blasts out Pavel Sauer in 3 rounds. At the Manchester Arena. That's where Hughie Fury lives, up in Manchester, north of England. Heavyweight Hughie Fury bounced back from his August defeat to former world champion Alexander Povetkin by knocking out Czech Republic's Pavel Sauer in 3 rounds to rekindle his world heavyweight title hopes. I don't see how knocking out Pavel Sauer rekindles anything. Certainly not, rekindle something, but it ain't gonna put you on the road to the heavyweight title, in my humble estimation. What else? What's going on here? So it's just a combination. Those are the pictures of the finish. I think Hughie rocked him, Pavel Sauer, in the 2nd round and dispatched him rather neatly in the 3rd. It was pretty much what was expected. Pavel Sauer is not really any kind of top of the line contender, but Hughie Fury had this as a warm-up fight, presumably to something bigger. It seems like the pattern of behavior with Hughie Fury is he takes a fight, takes a big fight, loses, then takes a lower rank fight. And then I suppose he's going to take a big fight again. Is he going to lose or win the next time? I don't know, but this seems to be a repeated pattern. Big fight, lose, small fight, knockout, big fight, lose, small fight, knockout. When is Hughie Fury going to break the cycle? Is he where he is due to his surname? Is that a factor? Damn, Pavel, sir. I don't mean to mock the guy, but it looks like he could use a little bra there. Holy guacamole. I don't know. Is Hughie Fury where he is because of his name? He did go 10 rounds with he did, having said that, he did go around 10 rounds with Parker, Joseph Parker. 10, 12? Was it 10 round or a 12 round? He did go the distance with Joseph Parker. He does know how to move. He's kind of evasive. But against the top guys, lower ranked guys, seems like he can knock the lower ranked guys out. With the higher ranked guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. But he's never been knocked out. So, he is not without skill. I just don't know where to place the fella. It's difficult to know where to place him. Phil Walker, what are your thoughts on Hughie Fury? Hughie Fury. Is Phil Walker still there? I'm alone. He's gone. Phil Walker has departed. Has he left me a message or is he? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So let's get back into the chat. Why took Jack 3D? That stuff was lethal bizzle. He got banned in the UK. Yeah, it was some good chisel. I still think the best pre-workout. I'm not really a pre-workout guy. I don't like to depend on stimulants. But the best chisel that I ever took was back in the day, even before Jack 3D. It was called Ultimate Orange. And damn. The Ultimate Orange, man, it was almost like it gave you a feeling of euphoria. It was almost euphoric. You just took the thing and it was like, whoa, let's go. It was go time. It was almost like a club concoction. You know, if you want to dance all night, then Ultimate Orange was the one. But I don't know what the hell they had in that shizzle, but it was some strong stuff. It made you feel extremely alert. Where are we? Where we at? Oh, didn't mean to post that. That's not what I meant to post. That is not what I meant to post, but it's all good anyway. Okay, so we're pressing on, looking through some of these comments. Yeah, man, that 3D was like whiz. Where is it? Okay, easy win for Hughie Fury. D-Bro up in the building. Yeah, it was very easy, very uneventful, much like I had anticipated. Very uneventful. Yeah, a lot of people take pre-workouts. I've dabbled with them, but never really depended on them. I don't take them no more. You know what? I've won. You go to an event or whatever, and they give you some free workout, free pre-workout. Yeah, I'll take a few of those things, take a few of those sachets, but yeah, 25. It's 25. Yeah. Is it still about? Is Ultimate Orange still about? I don't think it's about in its original form. I don't think Ultimate Orange is still around in its original form. I had a scoop of that. Somebody gave me a scoop of that back in the day. That shizzle, I don't know. I think he was more suited to going clubbing. He just had a highly alert. Damn, that thing was I don't know what the hell was in it, but it was incredible. I just had that one scoop. Just left it at that. Naturally aspirated. Okay, so what's going on? Where are we? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Hughie Fury, we've taken care of that. Okay, Efe Ajagba. We're moving on to Efe Ajagba. Let me go in and try this thing again. Let me try to write this thing in. See if it cooperates with me. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Adesanya. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Ajagba. Okay. Boom. That's good. Add banner. Efe Ajagba. The show. Okay. Boom. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's go into sharing mode. Let's share this. Okay, so Efe Ajagba. It's up to my team, but I want hard fights. So at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, the co-main event. Heavyweight sensation from Nigeria, Efe Ajagba, delivered a ninth round stoppage of Razvan Kujano. Okay, knocking him down twice en route to the victory. Okay, so Ajagba showed the prolific power that has made him a highly regarded heavyweight, nearing a jump from prospect level to contender level. Kujano came to fight and had the success at various points in the action, landing hooks on Ajagba and slowing down his attack in the early rounds. Okay, in round 8, Ajagba's offensive arsenal began to break through as Kujano's left eye started to swell before eventually closing. Late in round 8, Ajagba connected with a powerful right hand, straight right, that forced Kujano to take a knee. Okay. So, Kujano has a lot of experience, says Ajagba. When I threw my jab, he used his right hand to block my vision, so I couldn't throw as many combinations as I wanted to. It was a good challenge. It was a real good challenge. While Kujano was able to make it through the round, Ajagba continued to press forward. And in round 9, he punished Kujano with power shots. Okay, on the night, Ajagba outlanded Kujano in power shots by 176 to 81. Okay, a flurry by Ajagba late in the round forced Kujano down again and prompted the referee, Ron Lipton, to halt proceedings at the 2 minutes 46 seconds into the round. Okay, it's up to my team who we fight next, but I want hard fights. My team has a plan and we will stick to it. Okay, so that was Efe Ajagba's victory over Razvan Kujano. Okay, so boom, let's move that to one side and go back into the chat. Okay, so where we at? Where we at? PBC's last hope. Efe Ajagba, PBC's last hope. Well, the previous guys can come back. Can they come back? Can they come back? You know, this is talking about the PBC. PBC heavyweights getting demolished. Efe Ajagba still flying the PBC flag. Where are we? Okay, LDBC won't like him though, because he ain't from the USA. When do you ever hear Ajagba's name mentioned over there with the LDBC fraternity? When was the last time you heard Ajagba's name mentioned over there? It don't get mentioned over there. I don't know. You know, if your name's not Spence or Wilder, then when do you get what boxer gets shine over there? If your name ain't Spence or Wilder. Yeah, if he gets to the top, you're right. If he gets to the top, then all of a sudden, they're going to be mentioning him. I never hear. When was the last time you heard Efe Ajagba's name mentioned over there at the LDBC channels? They don't do it. I talk to my team, aka Al Heyman. Didn't Dubois KO that opponent in 2 rounds? Yes. Daniel Dubois did indeed KO Cojano in 2 rounds. Yeah, he did. So that speaks of, styles makes fights, so you can't really use it as a direct comparison, but it is an indicator. It is an indicator of Daniel Dubois' progression. Seems like they don't rate Ajagba. Seems like they ain't got love for the Ajagba. What's that all about? He's flying the flag for the PBC right about now. He's their flag bearer. He's their standard bearer. How can they not show love to Efe Ajagba? Where's the love? Where is the love? Oh, damn. I hope this doesn't cause too much controversy. I hope this does not cause well, hold on. Before we do that, we got to talk about Quigg. Where is he? Is that him? Is that him right there? I think it is. Quigg. Scott Quigg. Yeah, we got to talk about this. We got to touch on it. It's only right. Scott Quigg has been a good servant to the game, and so it's only fair. Oh, this is kind of strange. I'm having to click. What? What is going on here? What is going on here? Or maybe my mouse. The mouse is playing up. Damn it. Damn. Equipment failure. Okay, let's go into this thing and write it up. Let's get rid of that. We're going over to Scott Quigg. Where is Scott Quigg? Scott Quigg. There he is. Let's move him over to the rightful place. And let me write this thing up. Scott Quigg. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good. Okay. Let's share my screen and let's talk about this. Let's touch on this. Let's touch on. Cancel that. Boom. In comes the Phil Walker. Phil Walker's joined us back. We're going to talk about the Scott Quigg, thing briefly. We got to touch on that. Scott Quigg has been a good servant.
Yeah, my bad, Ralph, man. Something went wrong with my StreamYard, man. It kicked me out, took my profile picture down and everything. I don't know what's up with it, man. I say, well, I don't know what's going on. I guess we both having malfunctions today.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe probably got too many windows open as per usual. Got a massive windows open. I always like to be over prepared. I always like to have a massive things I can go to, to make sure the show bounces. Keep it bouncing. You know what I'm saying? I always like to be over prepared rather than under prepared. So I have a mass. If you saw how many windows open now, you would say that is ridiculous, bro. I got stories, I got pictures, the things which interest me. I make sure that they're stocked up. I have a full cupboard to make sure the show bounces. Okay, so Scott Quigg. As many of you will know, I'm not really particularly into the tiny weight, those tiny weight classes. You know what I'm saying? It's just not ordinarily my cup of tea. Although there are those who are really those lighter guys, those little bantam There's a few little bantam guys who are really, really good. And sometimes I'll take the time out of my day to, have a little glimpse of their fight. But I wasn't looking forward to this one. I'm not gonna lie, I was not looking forward to this one. People saying, Raf, you're gonna go live, Raf. Raf, you're gonna go live. Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna cover this one? And I was like, I do have the time. It's a Saturday. I don't work on a Saturday, so I do have the time. But I'm not overly enthusiastic, guys. I'm not over enthusiastic. But as it was, I had it on the TV. Got the channel up, had it on the TV, and so I watched. But it was much as I anticipated. Scott Quigg, no disrespect to him, but he's past his best. And after the fight, he hinted that retirement could be the next step. And quite frankly, from what I saw with he just even his physical condition, he didn't look like he looks or like he looked when he was at his best. So from his physical condition, I had to question whether he was in any position to give his best. Was he able to give his best in the training? Because if you can't give your best in training, then the chances are you're not going to give your best in the fight. That's not an absolute, but that's just a probability. And he didn't look his best, so I wasn't expecting his best. And sure enough, he just was not at the races at any point. He just wasn't at the races fighting the Irish John O'Carroll. John O'Carroll, he was just pretty much winning every damn round. I don't know if Scott Quigg won a round. So I didn't sit down and watch it. I was in and out. It was on the TV. It's a big screen, so it's hard to miss. So I'm okay. Yeah, he's lost that skirmish. Off again, come back. Walking past the TV, he's lost that skirmish as well. No. I had no inclination to sit down and just hand on my jaw, just saying, yeah, okay, lost that one. He was honest with himself, though, come the end of the fight. What did he say? I want to become a world champion again, and this is too hard of a sport just to stick around to make the numbers up. It's a dangerous sport, so if I'm not good enough to become a world champion again, then it's time to hang them up and find something else to do, which is going to be the hard thing. I just knew it wasn't really there. In the changing rooms, warming up, I thought, man, I'll get there. But no, couldn't get there. Me, 3 years ago, he wouldn't have lasted. What's this? Messages popping up left, right, and center. If it was me, the hell? If it was me in there 3 years ago, I wouldn't have lasted. And that's taking nothing away from him, said Quigg. He boxed a great fight tonight. But a couple of years ago, I'm levels above him. Unfortunately, you can't stop Father Time. I've had a good career, and I'd rather have been in there tonight and found out that it wasn't there anymore rather than be wondering whether I could have 1 or 2 more fights left in me. That sounds like retirement to me. He's got good people around him, and I hope they help him to make the right decision. So what I say is salute. Thank you for your service, Scott Quigg. But yeah, we don't want to see you stick around too long and get even more damage than you've already incurred, because are the words slurring? It's a bit of a concern. I'd rather see him bow out now than bow out too late. Phil Walker, what are your views? I don't know if you saw the fight, but if you didn't see the fight, yeah, he just was not at the races. Scott Quigg was just not at the races.
Yeah. No, I didn't see the fight.
No.
But again, whenever a guy, the hardest thing for a fighter to do is probably stop fighting.
Yeah.
Something you've probably done over, half your life, most of your life at least. And to reach the heights that he did, was incredible. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's hard on him, but whenever you can come out and you can give a statement such as that in such
and you know, because a lot of times people have to think about this stuff, right? And then, you know, it takes them a little while, and then they say, hey, you know, they're making a statement, and then they make a statement. But in this situation, it wasn't quite like that. It was more so like, okay, if I can't perform at the level that I'm used to performing, then it's probably time for me to stop. I've given all that I can give to boxing at this point, and I think I've done my time and I've made my imprint on the sport. And you know, I think it's time for me to leave. So absolutely, man. You know, whenever you hear somebody say that, they've come to terms with themselves that their time has come and it has passed. So with that being said, again, like you said, man, we appreciate your service, and you know, hopefully you can go and find something to do that still may have to do with boxing, possibly, you know, maybe commentator or something like that, or, you know, open up a gym and help some kids get their abilities together and everything like that. So, you know, I'm happy for them. You know, anytime somebody retires, that's always supposed to be a happy moment for them and their family, because now they get to spend time with them and do other things, explore, and just live life.
Yes, indeed. So, what is this? Yeah, that's the one that I was looking for. Yeah, so Scott Quigg, I hope he does retire. What happened here? I don't think he will retire. Hold on. Yeah, so Fuzzy says, big up Scott Quigg, another ex-world champ who represented the UK. Absolutely. And then he goes on to say, but I don't think he'll retire just yet. I think he will try to go out on some sort of win, but I could be wrong. Yeah, he'll probably try to go out on a win. But isn't that what Ricky Hatton did? I think Ricky Hatton tried to go out on a win and got starched to the body shot. You know, that was Phil Walker.
Look, man, it's not, hey, look.
Phil Walker's laughing at our guy.
Yo, it's really not funny, but you know, I mean, yeah, man, you gotta look, man. I tell people this all the time, man. Look, if you feel like you need to retire, then retire. Don't get in there thinking you're gonna just go in there and get an easy win. Because as I told you earlier, you gotta respect the sport. And these guys are not coming there to play pity pack with you. They're coming there to hurt you. So if you think you need to be done, then you need to take that briefcase, close it up, and walk out the front door and don't look back.
Yeah, I think there's like some kind of stigma. Some people, I don't think it's a real stigma, but I think some boxers think it's a bit of a stigma walking out on a loss. But when you think about it, it's almost the best thing you can do to walk out on a loss, because that suggests that, yeah, maybe you didn't have what you used to have and now you're quitting. I think it's more logical to walk out on a loss than it is to walk out on a win.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, I think it all depends on who you win is. You know, such as like Andre Ward. You know, I really like the way Andre left the sport. You know, but he had other things set up in place before he decided to retire. You know, He had a game plan. So, you know, I think that's a lot of times, you know, a lot of fighters don't look for the future and see what their life could be after boxing.
Yeah.
But I think Andre Ward, he went in, he did the rematch against Sergey Kovalev. Okay. He won that one definitively. So at that point, they deemed him number one pound for pound. Number one pound for pound fighter in the world. Okay. And he said, okay, hey, you know what? I'm good. I'm done now. You know. And I don't think he wanted to be done until he set those stepping stones in place in order for him to have a future after boxing. But it depends on what kind of win it is. You know, I'd rather you lose in a loss with somebody in a well-fought fight versus, you know, just taking an easy fight to just go out and say, yeah, I went out on a win, you know. So, yeah. 100%.
Yes. You don't want to go out like this. You do not want to go out like this on the screen right now. You don't want to go out like that. I say just understand where you're at. Just understand you ain't got it no more like you used to have it before. And go out, man. Just go out with your health. Go out with your health. Don't worry about a win or a loss. Just go out with your health. That's the number one concern. Go out with your health.
Yeah. You don't want to end up like Bernard Hopkins. You don't want to go out like that either.
No, you don't want to go out on your head. You don't want to go out slipping out the ring and landing on your head. You don't want that either.
Then you said it was your ankle. Then you said it was your foot. Then it said it was your hamstring. I didn't know what that boy had hurt, man. What that boy Joe Smith.
Damn, looked like you needed a whole damn body cast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but just go out with your health. That's my message. Go out with your health. And yeah, he's got a chip shop. He's got a chip shop. I always think these guys should just get some certification for training, because, you know, not necessarily just boxing training, but physical training, because they've been training all their whole damn lives. The first thing they should do, in my mind, is just get some certification, do a college course, get some certification, so they got some paperwork, and they can, automatically they're back in the gym, whether it's a boxing gym or some kind of commercial gym or a specialist gym. Get some certification for some physical aspect of the game, and that's your starting point. And there you can go in any direction, but at least it gives you a reason to get up out of bed once your boxing career is over, because a lot of boxers, they have troubles with direction when their career is over. But get some certification in some kind of training, some kind of sports field, and then you've got some time. You got a reason to get up out of bed, and get involved in some kind of training field of training. And then if you don't like that,
Coach, a good example of that is what's this guy's last name? Coach Dewey. What's Dewey's last name? He was a martial artist guy though. He did. Oh man, Coach Dewey. He's always at the Mayweather gym.
Okay, yeah, I recognize the name. Yeah,
the guy with the dreadlocks. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, he's been involved in combat sports for probably 35, 40 years almost.
Okay.
And he, after his career was over, he immediately went into training. So but again, you got to put those stepping stones in place. So
yeah, 100%. 100%. And that can be a stopgap of sorts. That can be a stopgap of sorts. You can use that as a platform to move on to something else, or you can use that. Maybe you like it and you just stay in that realm. But either way, you give yourself some thinking time. You go to college for 6 months, get some certification. You can get it quicker. You can get it online or whatever. But I like the grind of maybe going to college for 6 months or 9 months or whatever. So that gives them routine. And then after that, they know they got the qualification, and then they can go into working into a boxing gym, a specialist gym, or a commercial gym. But at least that sets them on a path of working in a field that's not totally alien to them. It's not totally alien. So, not totally alien. So it can help them then stabilize and get stability, get a purpose from which they can move on. You know what I'm saying? But at least you get your stability first. And I would hate to think that he would just stick around and just because he doesn't know what to do, just because he's deep in thought, don't know what to do. I hate to think that. End up flat on his back. We don't want to see that. I hope Quigg. I hope Scott. I think he should retire. Yeah, I hope he retires for his own good. Keep the brain cells you got left and move on with your life, as difficult as it may be. Make that break. Get to college, get some certification, and move on. You've already got a chip shop, so I've been told. You've already got a chip shop. You got that. Go to college, get some paperwork, and boom. What are we talking about? Dewey Cooper? No, it's not Dewey Cooper, is it? Is that his surname?
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah,
Cooper.
that's him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, who was I thinking of? There's another Cooper. Isn't there a Cooper guy that died recently or a few years ago? Cooper? Burt Cooper? Oh, yeah, Burt Cooper died a few years ago or last year. Burt Cooper. Smoking Burt Cooper. That's what I was thinking of. Smoking Burt Cooper. Dewey Cooper. A rough dude. Okay. And so, I think we've come full circle. Now. We're looking at the PBC, guys. We're coming to the end of the show. We're looking at the PBC, guys. And, yeah, the story we have here. Let me share my screen with you. Cooper, a rough dude. Let's get that picture down. Disappear. There we go. Boom. Okay, and so the last story of the night. We're going to leave you with. Okay, so Matthew Macklin does not see Deontay Wilder making adjustments like Joshua did. Okay, so Matthew Macklin does not see Deontay Wilder making the necessary adjustments to topple WBC champion Tyson Fury in their trilogy fight, the third fight, which is expected to land sometime in July. Okay, so last month, Fury stopped Wilder in the 7th round of a one-sided fight at the MGM Grand Las Vegas. After the loss, Wilder exercised his contractual option for an immediate trilogy fight. Okay, so some have compared the loss to the unexpected defeat suffered by Anthony Joshua in June 2019 when he was stopped TKO by Andreas the Ponce Ruiz. Okay, so Joshua, as we all know, exercised his right to an immediate rematch and then subsequently dominated Ruiz over 12 rounds to recapture his IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO heavyweight belts in Darija, December the 7th. Okay, but Macklin does not expect Wilder to make the same necessary adjustments as Joshua did. Fighters that lose and come back better are fighters that accept where they fell short, Macklin told Rafael Dawkins Combat Radio earlier today. Okay, so people who try and search for reasons and excuses, they're the ones who don't improve because they haven't dealt with the problem. They haven't properly dealt with the loss. You have to accept it, then deal with it, and then you can improve. But if you're in denial, then you simply are blocking the fix. If he's going to improve, he has to accept what happened and what went wrong. Mark Breland is the man who stopped the fight. He was spot on. He was right. That's the guy I'd be listening to. He cared for Wilder. He cared about Wilder. He cared about him as a person. He stopped the fight. He knew his man couldn't win. The writing was on the wall in very large letters. You can see where it was going. I don't see Wilder doing what Joshua did with Ruiz. Ruiz Jr., Rob McCracken and AJ decided he was too big, too muscular. They mentally looked past him. They didn't give him the respect they should have. Yeah, talking about respect again. Always respect your opponent. They weren't focused. And when they became focused and they came in at 16 stone 7. They were more mobile. They didn't trade. They boxed him and kept it long. He made the adjustments, but I don't know whether Wilder can do that. He didn't look past Fury. So what exactly is there to rectify? Is he suddenly going to become a slick boxer? No, I don't think so. He could, but I can't see it. It's a much harder proposition for Wilder to rectify. That is very, very interesting. Phil Walker, how do you chop that one up?
Well, okay, so let me say this right here. Has Deontay Wilder accepted the loss? I think he's coming around. I think he has coming around to accepting the loss because now He said that he wants to keep Breland in his corner. Absolutely. Mark Breland isn't going anywhere. He said he's going to stay here. This is where he belongs. He's also, I've heard rumors. I don't know how true this is, but he's supposed to be bringing Hall of Famer, heavyweight George Foreman into his camp to give him some pointers and some tips to be able to go out with a better game plan against a guy like Tyson Fury. So what this tells me is Deontay Wilder realizes that, hey, first and foremost, I have to get better at certain things if I want to have a shot against Tyson Fury. Okay? A part of him taking that loss is the reflection process. He's going to go back. He's going to reflect on some of the things he did wrong inside of the ring. I'm not so much worried about all the shenanigans outside of the ring. But with that being said, he does have some things that he could probably improve on immediately. But again, Tyson Fury is a very, very crafty boxer. And I don't know if we've seen the best of Tyson Fury yet. That's the honest to God's truth. I think Tyson Fury may still have some gas left in the tank, a lot of gas left in the tank, because you have to think about it. His two biggest fights were two of his most dominant fights against Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. So I think he's one of those kind of guys, if you push him to the brink, he'll get better and better as the fight goes on. But as far as Deontay Wilder, at this point, I think he realizes that he needs to make some changes in his boxing ability, his overall style, if he wants to go in and compete against a guy like Tyson Fury. And he's taking those steps by, for one, squashing the rumors. He's keeping Breland in his corner, a guy that's been down with him from day one. And he's bringing in additional help, something that he criticized Tyson Fury for doing. But guess what? It worked out for Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury came in as a not reinvented fighter, but a fighter with more tools in the tool shed and a more improved fighter. So Deontay Wilder could take a page out of Tyson Fury's book and bring in something that's going to help him improve his skill and ability and just overall IQ as far as boxing is
concerned.
Is concerned, yes, sir.
Deontay Wilder also criticized Joshua for revamping.
Yeah, he did criticize Joshua for revamping, but let me tell you something. As far as Joshua and Ruiz, honestly, and this is just my opinion right here. I think Joshua was more. To me, Joshua's style is more equipped to adapt in a rematch faster than Deontay Wilder's style is, because Joshua is a fundamentally, and I'm not going to say sound guy, but he does know the fundamentals of boxing very well. So
he has his fundamentals in place.
Exactly. He has his fundamentals in place. And you know what? And this is why fundamentals are so important, because they are the ground on which you walk on as far as boxing is concerned.
It's the ground on which you build on. It's the foundation.
There you go. So if you got a good solid foundation, you can always strip that house back down, and that same foundation is going to be right there, and you can rebuild. So I think Joshua, he had the ability to go in and say, hey, you know what? This game plan was wrong. I need to take some of this muscle off, and I need to go back to being a little more limber in boxing, and I think that's the way I can beat Andy Ruiz. Again, he added a different aspect, not necessarily a different aspect, but he brought a different game plan to the table in the second fight, and it worked out for him. So, look, I don't see how people criticize wins. That's the first thing, okay? However you get the win, like my boy say, however you get the win is how you get the damn win. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these guys made adjustments, and it paid off big for him. All Deontay Wilder needs to do is, hey, trash all the side talking, okay? Don't listen to what people are telling you on the side, okay? You need to think about your career, listen to the people that's been with you since day one, the people that want to see you do better. And you know what? Just focus in on that. Stay away from social media, stay away from all that stuff, and just focus on your craft. You need to be 100% dedicated to your craft and training in order to go in and be even competitive against Tyson Fury. With that being said, Deontay Wilder has to want to change these things that he has not attempted to change in 40-something fights. And that's going to be the hard thing for him.
Yes. I think this is our last thing now, folks. This is our last thing we're talking about now. Glad that you joined us. We're just rounding things off with this. I think that you see, one of my concerns, I have multiple concerns with Deontay Wilder. First of all, I don't know where he gets off talking to his trainer, talking about his trainer the way he did. He's talking about, yeah, he's out of here, or did he say that, or talking about, nah, he's staying. It's like, to me, the mere fact that, I mean, I've seen an interview way back where what's his name, Breland, where Mark Breland said, Wilder don't listen. Wilder don't listen. When was this? This was which fight was it now? A few fights ago anyway.
Wilder even said Wilder don't listen.
yeah. So it's an open secret that Wilder don't listen. And then when he was going wild on Breland for stopping the fight, you know what he said to me, and it's just crystallized in my mind just now. When he started going wild at Breland for stopping the fight, it's just now crystallized in my mind why I felt uncomfortable, because it seemed like Wilder was the boss. Yeah, it's just become clear to me now. Wilder was talking like he was the boss. When you're the fighter, you shouldn't be the boss if you're the fighter. You shouldn't be the boss when it comes to the training room if you're the fighter. You're the pupil. You're the student. You're there to learn. But it seems to me now it's crystallized in my mind that Wilder was acting like he was the boss. You're not the boss in that situation. You're not the boss in that situation. Yeah, you can say, well, hold on, I was okay, but that's not the vibe I was getting from Wilder. The vibe I was getting from Wilder was, how dare you? I'm the boss. How the hell are you going to stop the fight without consulting me? Even though you're in the middle of getting your brain bashed in. Like we said before, those pillows, yeah, it might be pillow fisted, but those pillows can come with a wallop. Like we say in the UK, they can come with a wallop. You know what I'm saying? You can still get concussed by pillows. We've all had a pillow fight in our time, and you can get concussed by a pillow if it's swung right. So yeah, it's just crystallized in my mind that Wilder's the boss. Seems like Wilder's the boss. Seems like Wilder's the boss in the operation, and therein, that's my assessment, and therein lies the problem. You know, you're not some master boxer. If it turned out that Ali was the boss in his corner for one of his fights, or two of his fights, or three of his fights, then fine. He's a master boxer. He was a master boxer. You know, he was a master boxer, fine. But even then, you still need somebody who can knuckle down and crack the whip hand and get you to do what he knows he's supposed to do. And you're supposed to have people in place. If you don't respect Mark Breland, then maybe get somebody you do respect. If you don't respect your trainer, your coach, look for somebody who you do respect.
Yeah, because that's the thing right there. You know, Ref, you said the key word right there. If you're not listening to your trainer, clearly it's not that mutual respect. You got to understand that these guys have to be synchronized when they're going into that ring. Because you know the trainers are they're with the fighter through everything. Of course, the fighters put, of course, all the physical work, but the trainers are there. You know, so I mean, at the end of the day, again, like you just said, if Breland doesn't have Deontay Wilder's respect, then Wilder needs to take it upon himself and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to bring somebody in that can get me over this hump. Somebody that, because I mean, guys grow out of trainers all the time. Maybe Breland has bought him as far as he could. Maybe that's why he's bringing in a guy such like a George Foreman, or honestly, I think he should have brought Lennox Lewis in years ago when Lennox asked to help. I think he'd be a much more polished fighter right now. But he didn't do that. He felt as though he had everything under control. But now he realizes that he needs to correct some things. So, like you said, that respect factor is major, a major key component in Wilder's success from this point on out. I agree.
Yes. Wilder don't respect Breland. You can tell sometimes. You can tell in how they interact. The interaction made me feel uncomfortable. That interaction made me feel uncomfortable, and I hadn't fully crystallized in my mind why. I knew why, but it wasn't fully crystallized. But just now as we were speaking, I realized you just don't respect Breland. You just don't respect Breland. I can't be training you and you're talking to me like that. Like, why? What you do? And then I looked very carefully. I've done a video on it, and I noticed all around, like JDZ was just sitting down with his jaw in his hand. He didn't come up on the ring apron at the end immediately. Shelly Finkel got to the ring apron before JD's did. JD's was just sitting down at the side with his hand on his jaw. I heard that he was a Taibo coach. Taibo coach, as Jay-Z was once said about Nas. He said you was doing Taibo classes. You're Taibo ho. So JD's, I heard. I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I haven't seen it in print. I haven't researched it, but I heard he was a Taibo guy teaching Taibo. But yeah, the interaction, it struck me as being as Deontay Wilder having a lack of respect. Maybe because Breland's been with him. Maybe because Breland's been with him from the beginning. He's taking Breland for granted. Seems like that to me, and that's not a good situation. That's not a good situation whatsoever. And there has been talk. There has been talk about bringing in George Foreman. George Foreman has offered his services. He's offered his services. Offered Deontay with services. Apparently, come with a free George Foreman grill. That's a joke. And you see, I want to clarify this point as well. What happened is with that report, it was reported that Deontay Wilder has accepted to work with George Foreman. But what actually I did, I dug around and found the root of the story. And what actually has happened is that Mr. Nescafe apparently sent Deontay Wilder a text during one of Nescafe's live shows saying that George want to work with you. And what Deontay Wilder allegedly texts back is that, yeah, he'll have a sit down and talk with George. Well, having a sit down and talking with George isn't exactly the same thing as agreeing to work with George Foreman. You see what I'm saying? There's a bit of so it seems like the gun has once again been jumped in some reporters reporting that Deontay Wilder has agreed to work with George Foreman, because as from the information I've gathered, Deontay Wilder has not agreed to work with George Foreman. He has.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know how true it is, but I heard,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's agreed to speak to George Foreman, and I think that's a big difference. So I am not convinced that Deontay Wilder is going to change anything. One thing we know about Deontay Wilder, he doesn't like change. He don't like changing up his training situation. He likes to train in secret, and he likes to keep his circle very, very tight. And it's one I have to say it because I've wondered it. Could it be the case that Deontay Wilder might be somewhat embarrassed to bring new people in because he doesn't have the array of of skills, of tools. You know, a carpenter goes out, leaves out, and he's got a toolkit. He's got a toolkit with probably everything he could possibly need in that toolkit, in that tool bag. And much like boxers, you have some boxers with a full toolkit. That means their bag is overflowing with different tools for different jobs. And then you have, on the other end of the scale, you have boxers who perhaps have reduced their style down to what they think they need. And they only work on what they think they need. And those boxers, I put it to you, Phil Walker, those boxers have a smaller toolkit because they've figured out what they need generally, and that's all they need. So they have a smaller toolkit. And I put it to you, Phil Walker, that Deontay Wilder is a guy who has slowly and progressively regressed in terms of his variety of skills, the variety of tools he uses. He's gone down to minimum. And I think the fight which highlights that theory is the Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz 2, where it seemed like Deontay Wilder's mindset was to do as little as possible. Just line the guy up until he's in his sights and he can deliver the kill shot. And I think I said at the time, I said, this is worked against Ruiz, but he's going to come a cropper. He's going to come a cropper if he tries that against some other guys. And I put it to you that this reducing down, somebody wrote in my comment section the other day, that was watching Deontay Wilder at the Olympics, and his toolbox has significantly reduced since those days. And I put it to you, Phil Walker, that Deontay Wilder is in no hurry to invite people in to see his now reduced tool set. Phil Walker.
Well, you know, that's not a terrible theory to have. You know, and I noticed even Deontay Wilder's sparring partners are very, you know, hush hush with as far as how the training goes and whatnot. But you know, that may not be a terrible theory to have. I mean, you know, I think Deontay Wilder has gotten better at some things as far as his overall patience, having the ability to set up what I consider his sniper shots. I think he's gotten better at that, but I think he's got away from some of the things that could make him a better overall boxer. His best performance to me by far was against Romain Stavern the first time, because he faced adversity during that fight. He didn't knock Romain Stavern out, and he had to rely on his overall boxing ability because he broke his right hand. He couldn't throw the right hand. So he had to rely on the little fundamentals that he did have. But with that being said, I think Deontay Wilder, I think his jab has gotten progressively worse. I mean, I do. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I thought you was gonna say it's gotten better. I thought you was gonna say it's got better because it was non-existent. So I'm glad you said you think it's gotten worse because it was non-existent.
Nah, it's gotten worse to me. And Deontay Wilder does not. And this goes back to fundamentals. That's the first jab. The jab is the first punch you learn in boxing. Okay. And right now, you know, I don't think Deontay Wilder throws the jab nearly enough as he should, considering it's the rangefinder for the right hand. You understand what I'm saying? It's just something so minuscule and small as that. With that being said, it's a lot of stuff he needs to work on. And I've mentioned this in other chats. When, you know, you're 6'7", and you're fighting guys that are a lot smaller than you, shorter than you, not as rangy as you, you can evade punches defensively by dropping straight back because you're so much longer than them. But when you're fighting a guy like Tyson Fury that's 2 inches taller than you, that legs are longer than yours, his arms are longer than yours, overall, he's a lot more rangier than you are. So when you're defensively, when you're stepping straight back, you're not moving out the way at all. Okay? So something as small as, man, hey, look, when you trying to evade punches, move out in angles. Play your angles.
Yeah.
Jab off of angles.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, like my prime example, Deontay Wilder is honestly, he is shaped like Tommy Hitman Hearns.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I've said
He's
that
shaped
before.
like, he's shaped like the Hitman. You know,
Yeah.
young Hitman. He's shaped like young Hitman. And I mean, think about how the Hitman used to jab at angles. And I mean, it was a thing of beauty. Deontay
Yeah.
Wilder doesn't do stuff like that. If he realizes that he can just throw a very stiff jab, okay, step into his jab when he's throwing it, okay, put some power behind it instead of it being a flickering or a blinding jab only to set up the right hand, that can improve his skill set a lot more. So I do think that he's gotten better at some things, but I think he's gotten worse at some of his fundamentals. And that's been his knock on him his entire career. But if he wants to get better, he's
Yeah.
gonna have to go back to the basics, okay? And
Mhm.
again, he doesn't have to spend a lot of time. That's what people realize. He doesn't have to spend a lot of time. When you've been doing something for so long, it's kind of like riding a bike. You can catch on to some of this stuff quick, and some of this stuff you're going to have to work a lot harder at. But
Mhm.
throwing a proper jab is one of those things that Deontay Wilder should be able to pick up fairly quickly. And instead of going straight back defensively, hey man, just try to move at angles when you want to evade a punch. Use your feet, man. Use your feet.
What feet? The man looks like he's got lead in his feet. The
He
man
needs to
moves
use
his feet like he's got lead in his feet. And you know something? You know something?
The king is in good spirits.
How the hell can you be in good spirits after a performance like that when you made yourself look like an amateur? Made yourself look like worse than you did when you was an amateur. What the hell is that about? You know what I think? I think Deontay Wilder has progressively and steadily and progressively been reducing his game. Like I said before, he's been reducing his game. He's thinking now it's like you're going on a short hop holiday. You're just going for a weekend. And you think to yourself, what is the least amount of stuff that I can carry? What is the least amount of stuff that I can carry? And instead of going in there with a full toolkit, overbrimming with different tools, he's thinking to himself, minimalist. The least. What's the least I can do? How many is the least amount of jabs I can throw? You know, to me, I'm gonna be straight with you, and I'm not trying to be funny about this. You know, I'm just being straight here. I think that Deontay Wilder has steadily been allowed. So I blame his team as well. He has steadily been allowed to reduce his game rather than expand his game. Phil Walker.
Well, this goes back to if what you said earlier. If as far as him being the boss. I mean, if he says he doesn't need to work on something, then maybe they okay, well screw it then. Maybe we just need to. I mean, yeah, I'm just if that's the case, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, if not, then that's shame on his trainers.
Yes. Yes.
Look, let me tell you something. Look, I've always been told that if you're the smartest guy in the room, then guess what? If you're the smartest guy in the room, then that's not a good thing, man. If you're the smartest guy in the room, then maybe you in a very small room, or maybe in a room with not a whole lot of people. So
if Deontay Wilder's the smartest guy in the room, is in solitary confinement. He's been locked up again. He's in the Vegas cells again.
Look, man, I wouldn't go that far, but look, let me tell you something.
I'm joking.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. But that's real. If you have the most knowledge in the room, either you need to go to a bigger room or you need to pile more people in there. And I say that to say this. You have to put people around you that's going to push you, that's going to challenge you, help you challenge yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, Deontay Wilder, he has to know at this point that he has to be better, okay? Not to just fight against Tyson Fury, but for his fights after Tyson Fury, okay?
Hell yeah.
Because other people are taking notes to this. You understand? I'm taking notes to this.
Yeah. Wrong there.
You know, so with that being said, hey, look, dude, you have to bring another skill set into the boxing ring in order to prolong your career and to just overall become a better fighter. And I think he has to realize this at this point in time. And he has to get somebody in there that he's going to respect, that he's going to listen to, that is going to push him to be a better fighter, period. And I think he's determined enough. I think the Deontay Wilder strikes me as a guy that if he sets his mind to something, I think he could push himself through it. He just, again, like I said, the biggest concern for me is he has to know that he needs to do it. And I think he will put the work in if it's something that he realizes that he absolutely needs. But the key is he has to want it. And he has to realize that he not only wants it, he needs it in order to be successful.
My problem with all of that is that I honestly believe, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proved wrong, because I want to see a hell of a barn burner of a third fight. I want to see a hell of a barn burner of a third fight, because that last fight, that was a very enjoyable fight for the neutral. And I can't say I was neutral, but I was almost neutral. I mean, I'm glad that Fury brought the belts back, but it's not like I'm particularly heavily invested in either fighter. I have issues with both fighters, but at the same time, I love boxing. So I love the fact that I got to see a marvelous boxing display. I love the fact that all the belts are over back in the UK, because that shut some naysayers up. So I wasn't a neutral in that fight, but I was kind of close to the middle. I just wanted the best man to win, truth be told.
You know what, Ralphie? That's you know, I mean, I talk to you nearly every day, and honestly, I can't say that you were pretty. You were back and forth with who you thought was going to win. At the end, you ended up picking Fury, so I think he was pretty even keeled on that Wilder Fury fight.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the best man win, whoever the hell that was going to be. For the most time, I thought that was going to be Wilder, and then last week when I watched the first fight again, I thought, hell no, I see how Fury wins this. Not only do I see how Fury wins this, I see how Fury stops Wilder. I saw it in the last week, and that's why anybody who wasn't listening can go back to the two live shows immediately prior to the fight and see that my pick changed to Fury by KO. Go the week before that, and you will say, and all the weeks before that, and you'll see that my pick was Deontay Wilder by KO. But it changed in the very last week because I watched the first fight again from beginning to end. And it really wasn't a scintillating fight at all. So I had difficulty in making my mind up to do it, but I thought I had to do it going into the fight. I had to sit down and watch the first fight, all damn 12 rounds from beginning to end. And I came up with the assessment that no, Wilder is not going to win this. The third fight, that's trickier. I'm going to have to leave my call till closer to the actual fight itself. But right about now, as it stands now, with Deontay Wilder's training team who have failed him, he's failed them and they failed him. They failed each other. Because I'm sure they tried to get him to expand his game. And in the meantime, he did the exact opposite and contracted his game. So they're both at fault. They are both.
Hurry up! He ain't got long.
Yeah. Well, hear this. Well, check this out. I don't think he's stepping out from under the JD's umbrella. I don't think he's stepping out from under the umbrella. He's lived. This is my hypothesis. I know you may disagree, and that's cool. But I believe he's lived under the philosophy He's lived under the protection. He's lived under the protection of JD's being in that gym. They closed that down. They locked that down. No insiders allowed in. And I think it's because they don't want to see how limited the guy has become. That's my honest belief. And also on top of that, I don't think he's leaving that protective shelter. I don't think he's leaving that. So that leads me to believe he's not going to dramatically, he is not going to significantly change his training arrangements. But if he wants my argument is if he wants a significant difference in the outcome, he has to significantly change his training arrangements. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what do they call it? The definition of foolishness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And I think he's been doing the same thing over and over again, fighting lesser opponents, fighting third string opponents. Only recently has he stepped up, and even the opponents he selected, they weren't top of the tree. They weren't top of the tree. He fought guys who were under in the ranking, under the guy he was mandated to fight. His number one ranked opponent, and rather than fight his number one ranked opponent, he was fighting guys under them. And I say this to you and everybody listening: there comes a time when the chickens will come home to roost. And on February 22nd, the year 2020, the chickens came home to roost for Deontay Wilder. For all the times he fought second string guys instead of first string guys, the chicken came home to roost. And all of a sudden there's a skill gap. There's a skill gap. There's a quality gap between the best he was fighting, the best of whom were Dominic Breezel and Luis Ortiz. And there was a skill gap between them and the guy that he fought, defeated him, Tyson Fury. There was a skill gap. The chickens came home to roost. And now I believe, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get proved wrong. I believe that Deontay Wilder is set in his ways. I don't think he's open. I agree with Matthew Macklin, who was in the article I just read 15 minutes ago. I believe that Deontay Wilder has not come to acceptance that drastic changes are needed. I think Deontay Wilder is of a mindset that minimal changes are needed. He needs to change it minimally. And I put it to you that he's set in his ways now. He's set in his ways now. He's set in his ways, and that's gonna be a big trouble. Big trouble.
Yeah, like you said, I agree, man. In order to get a drastically different results, needs to be a drastic change. I agree with that. But I do think not taking the big fights early may have dampened his career slightly. Because, like I said, man, when you've been doing something for so long and you've been successful at doing that one thing, you don't quite know you're doing it wrong until it's too late, right? But it's been signs that, hey, you can't keep on competing with the best of. You can't keep on competing with guys like Tyson Fury, who's probably at this point the best in the world. Okay,
could be.
Yeah, could be the best boxer in the heavyweight boxing in the world right now.
It could be.
Thinking that you don't have to make any adjustments. It's just foolish. So again, man, if Deontay Wilder, I'll tell you something. Even if Deontay Wilder makes a big change, I'm still probably going to favor Fury in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for me to be enticed to think that Wilder may have a chance, he's going to have to make some big changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, that'll be his same philosophy, just saying, okay, I have a puncher's chance if I can just get close enough to Fury and land that shot.
Mm.
You can't go into a fight and that's I mean, that's you know how guys say we go in, we got to plan A, B, C, and D. You
Yeah.
know that plan. We just need to get that one big shot. That needs to be plan Z. That's the last resort. Okay, that's the last resort. That don't need to be nowhere in the front of the alphabet. Okay, that plan don't need to be nowhere in the front of the alphabet. And you know,
But
if
you know as well as I know. We all know. I think we all know the Deontay Wilder. He's got that small tool bag. He goes in there with one game plan. You gotta be perfect. You gotta be perfect for the whole fight. I've got to be perfect for 2 seconds mentality. Nah, that clearly don't work at the top level.
yeah, the only guy I seen that work for that was highly boxing ability, I think probably was highly underrated was Adonis Stevens. Okay. You know, he had that same philosophy, but Adonis could box though, right? Adonis had a good jab. You know, Adonis would go through the body. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the best boxer, but his fundamentals was good enough in order for him to set up that left hand and be successful for so many years.
So he tried to break it down in the meantime, though.
Exactly. You know, I mean,
that's not Deontay Wilder ain't trying to break it down. He's just trying to knock you out.
Exactly.
And at the highest levels, that don't work. You got to break down. He wants to knock down the whole damn building with one wrecking ball swing. That's not smart. That's not smart. You gotta be systematic.
Yeah.
You gotta be systematic.
We definitely gonna see. You know, I'm excited to see what's to come. I hope Wilder makes some changes in his camp just to make an entertaining fight because if you don't, I mean, you know, it's just he's gonna bring more criticism your way, man.
Well, check this out. Check this out. When I said that I was kind of neutral going in. I mean, I thought Wilder was gonna win, and then last week I switched my bet pick. I told you why, but I was still kind of neutral. Now, it has been said in the chat that I was ecstatic during the fight that Fury was winning and the manner in which he was winning, and that statement is 100% correct. But emotionally going in, I was kind of, hey, I'm just going to see who wins. I'm going to see who wins. Go check the recordings again. It's on tape. I was kind of,
it's only natural for you to be happy for your country, man. And,
of course. I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic when I saw what was going on in the time. But prior, when I say I was neutral, I wasn't neutral during the fight. I was kind of neutral. Whichever way it goes. I think Fury's going to do it by KO, but I just want to see who's the best. But once the fight was underway, then I was exceptionally pleased for what I saw unfolding before me. So no, I wasn't neutral during the fight, but I was kind of, come see, come saw prior to the fight. And yeah, I'm cool with that because now it looks like Fury is for real more likely than Wilder to go for undisputed. Now it's looking like they both seem lukewarm about undisputed, and that was my issue with both of them. They both seem lukewarm about undisputed, but now since it's happened, Fury, see the signs are that he is interested in undisputed. That's all I wanted. Just be interested and go for it. Try to make it happen. That's all I wanted. But if a guy was going to win the belt like Deontay Wilder and then still not be interested in undisputed, then no, I didn't want that guy to win. Whichever guy had the least interest in undisputed is the guy I wanted to lose, and it seems that guy was Deontay Wilder. So I'm doubly happy the Fury won, primarily because he's interested in undisputed. That is my prime concern. I want to see undisputed. Now, is Anthony Joshua a favorite going in against Tyson Fury? No, I do not believe so. Tyson Fury is the most seasoned of the three, more seasoned than Wilder, and Wilder has more experience than Joshua. Although the equation kind of changes and shifts a little bit when you realize that Anthony Joshua has been fighting higher opponents more consistently than both of those guys. So even though Fury is the favorite, the X factor is the fact that Joshua has consistently been fighting high-ranked guys. Phil Walker.
I don't have any concern about anything much. I don't have much to say about Joshua's resume. I think the guy has took his fair share of good opponents on. I think he's fought everybody that you really could fight inside the top 10 outside of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and pretty much Derek Chisora, who just recently made the top 10. So he's fought the Povetkin. He's finna fight Pulev. He's already fought Flag. He's fought Dillian White. Povetkin, of course. He fought Dominic Brazil.
Fought Joseph Parker.
Yeah, he's fought Parker.
Andy Ruiz twice.
Andy Ruiz. So I mean, there you go. Look. Hey, his resume is solid, man. His resume is solid.
Solid.
So if you want to talk about level of competition, experience in exceeded level of competition, I think Joshua outshines them all. I think he doesn't have as much experience, of course, than Wilder and Fury, but I think he's been in harder, let's say, battles than both of those guys. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he set goals out and he challenges himself. So that's awesome. So we'll see, man. We'll see. And we're
gonna find out.
Good thing about AJ is he already has that one loss out the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of people don't want to mention this, but it's a
pressure.
That pressure, man. It's a storm of pressure on you when you don't want to let that O go, right? But once you get that first one out of the way, man, you can be more loose, you can be more lax, you can be more comfortable, and when you fight like that, man, it brings a different side out of you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got it out the way. He's broke his duck. He's lost his virginity now. You know what I'm saying? Them boys, well, Wilder just lost his virginity too. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting things going down. Wild Soul says Fury will finish Joshua too. Come on now. Totally different proposition. Fury finished Joshua. Were you saying that before Fury finished Wilder? I think not, my friend. You weren't thinking about Mr. Pillar Fist. Oh, Pillar Fist finishing anybody. Come on. Let's get real. I mean, it might happen and it may be the other way around, but let's try and be untainted. Let's try and be untainted and speak from the heart. Say what you really, really feel. If it's what you really, really feel, then that's cool. But I always welcome different voices with different messages over here at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Sorry, Phil, did I cut you off? Did I cut you off, Phil? Okay. So, Wild Soul 88. We're yet to see that. Looking forward to the fight. AJ will do much better either way. Where we at? Wild Soul 88. Yep. Wild Soul Joshua's better chin than Wilder. Yep, I do firmly believe so. Oh dear, I wish I'd have read that before I put that up. Okay, so I think Phil Walker is dropped off, but it was a pleasure having you on, Phil Walker. We've got through this. We banged out another one, knocked it out of the park. I'd like to extend my appreciations to Phil Walker for jumping on. I'd like to extend my appreciation to all of the chat, everybody who came through in the chat. I'd like to extend my appreciation to, now, how do I do this? I need to get my super chats game up. Know how to put that shizzle up on the screen. I have to put that shizzle up on the screen so it stays up there, etc., 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 etc. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I'll get my super chat game up, so something, you know, whatever. You know, we get some bells and whistle on that, but I appreciate everybody who jumps on the panel, everybody who's jumped on the panel today and jump on the panel on other days, everybody who comes in the chat, everybody who smashes that like button, everybody who has smashed that subscribe button, everybody who tells a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, because we're growing nicely, organically. I like the growth. I like the feel. I like the vibe. When I press that live button, I know what I'm going to be getting back. I'm going to be getting all kinds of different voices, all kinds of different opinions. And quite frankly, Phil Walker, I love it.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, I enjoy.
Oh, Phil Walker got trouble with his mic. Yep. Phil Walker got trouble with his mic over there, I think. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Phil has got mic problems. It's better that he had mic problems right at the end than at the beginning. Yeah. What happened to the bombs? What happened to the bombs that Wilder was gonna detonate? What happened to the bombs that Wilder was gonna detonate? What happened to that? Great stream. Says Fuzz. I agree. Great energy. Hey, I'm just loving it. I can't lie. I'm loving the organic growth of the thing. I am truly loving it. And even if it was just like a couple of people, a handful of people, it'd still be good. It would still be good, but it's even better to see the growth, the organic growth. Phil Walker, how do you do?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, my friend. I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome.
So, yeah, we've come to the end of the show. It's been another good one. I'm enjoying it. So just tell the people your final words, Phil.
Well, you know, my final words is, man, we had a good night talking about boxing and MMA. Look, boxing right now is in a really, really good place. I know you guys it's in a much better place considering all the belts in the UK right now. You guys are enjoying that a lot more than I am. But with that being said, the heavyweight division has a lot more to offer us coming up here in the near future. A lot of things are shaping up, and it's getting more and more competitive with each match, and everybody's gearing up to find their shot and get a shot at the big dogs. So with that being said, man, I'm excited about boxing, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Second half of the year, 2020.
100%. 100%. Yeah. 100%. It's something that I'm looking forward to. It's been a great start of the year. Great community over here. 100. Looking forward. It's been a great start to the year. Big things. Wishing big things. Looking forward to big things in 2020. Yeah, it's fantastic. Couldn't ask for more. It's been a good one. It's been a great show. And once again, my thanks to Phil Walker and all the people who jump on. My thanks to everybody in the chat, everybody who smashes the like button, everybody who smashed the subscribe button, everybody who smashes that super chat button. It helps with the growth and the development of the show. So, with that said, what else is there for me to say? This has been Boxing Talk with Rafi 104. Look forward to Boxing Talk with Rafi every Monday and Wednesday, 10 p.m. UK time. And as we grow and develop, look forward to more impromptu shows. Look forward to a morning show every once in a blue. Well, don't look for it. You'll get the notification. Look forward to at least one morning show, at least one lunchtime show, in addition to the standard Monday and Wednesday 10 p.m. boxing talk with Rafi. So with that said, it's the D-Bro. It's the Philip Carl Roberts. It's the Fuzzy's Ear. It's the BH. It's the Rendell Stevenson. It's the Wild Soul. It's the... Who gave me those super chats? It's the Pablo Diablo. It's the Fuzzy Is Ear. It's the Dr. Woodok. It's the Rubski. And we're scrolling up. It's the David Douglas. Now we're scrolling up. It is the Katie. It's the Big Boys Boxing. It's the Mala. It's the Gucci Kid. It's the Pele Grosso. This, you have been in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi 104. And it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to tune in to the videos. It's been a good one. And all that's left for me to say is blessed. We're out.